have the players to open up this offense. So in any event, I expect it to be a wide open football game, Frank, and should be a lot of fun.
Indeed it should. We are delighted you're with us. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by Prestone 2 Antifreeze, America goes with Prestone. It is a beautiful night for football here in Los Angeles. The crowd will be arriving late, many of them still on the freeways here. It is just 6 o'clock. San Diego has won the toss as we look down on the field. Again, a bitter rivalry has developed over the years between these two teams, although the series has been dominated with the Raiders winning the last 6 football games. Dropping deep for the Raiders, 21 is Buford McGee, and Gary Anderson is also back there, number 40. He came a few weeks ago, had a tremendous 3 years in the USFL, was originally a number 1 draft pick of the San Diego Chargers, but he is back and perhaps potentially offers them the best running that they have had since Chuck Muncie of a couple of years ago. There he is, out of Arkansas. Not all that big, but with tremendous moves. He's very quick. An electric and exciting runner. Gary Anderson is still finding his way in this complex passing offense of San Diego. Now set to hit it and get things underway is Chris Barr. Raiders 5-2, a win tonight, and they tie with Denver. San Diego can stay in it strongly with a win tonight. They are 3-4, and Buford McGee brings it out. And McGee out close to the 27-yard line where it'll be first down, and out comes Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts came back a week ago, actually a week early from a knee injury. He suffered 3 weeks ago, almost pulled the game out in the 4th quarter against Minnesota. He's the top-rated passer in the AFC, or was after 7 games, with a 95.7 rating. If you follow this game, you know all about him. Over 35,000 yards in his career. 3rd all-time behind only John Unitas and Fran Tarkenton. It looks as though last week in that final quarter, he was not bothered too much with that knee, and he'll put it in the air on first down at his own 25. Fouts tries to go to the big tight end, Kellen Winslow. He, too, came back last week. Of course, he suffered a almost career-ending knee injury. Many people thought he would not come back against these Raiders last October. His first action was last week in the final quarter against the Minnesota Vikings. Defensively, well, we'll give you what we think we'll start with the Raiders, but boy, they'll move around up there. They'll bring in a 4th man. That'll be Sean Jones or Greg Townsend. They will move around. They know the San Diego Chargers put the ball in the air. Occasionally, they will go with 4 down linemen, as they are now, or 3 down linemen. Fouts looks downfield, dumps it off to Anderson. Flags are all over the place as Anderson works his way back close to the line of scrimmage. There will be about a yard loss on that play. Our referee tonight is Dick Jorgensen. And the first penalty is indicated against the Raiders. Here is Jorgensen.
Offside, number 93, defense, still second down.
You know, I think it's interesting. They're already going to Gary Anderson. Now, he's the all-time leading rusher from the USFL. He's a fine football player, but in talking with Dan today, he's not quite into the flow of the San Diego Charger offense yet. He's going to be a much better ball player, but right now he doesn't have the things down the way they'd like him to have it.
Greg Townsend offside. It'll be second down and 5. The ball near the 30-yard line. The quick pitch goes to Spencer, another USFLer, who has been in camp a little longer than Anderson, and they are really high on Tim Spencer, as they are Gary Anderson. They also have Trumaine Johnson. Those are all USFL players, and they also have a defensive end named Lee Williams from the Express of a year ago. But Gary Anderson, Tim Spencer, and Trumaine Johnson were all original draft picks of these Chargers. And finally, they are back with the Chargers.
And I think the Chargers are going to waste their time when they're running the football. They should throw at least 40, 50 passes this game. They're wasting their time running the ball.
Spencer got almost 4. 3rd down and a long 1. Lionel James, the little man, is in there at 26. Only little in stature, however. Fouts on a 3rd and 1. Puts it in the air. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Kellen Winslow. And the Chargers will have to punt.
Well, Joe, I think you're right. They're going to have to throw the football to win, but I think they're going to have to run the ball. They only have 7 down linemen on their roster here tonight, and with Howie Long and Lyle Alzado beating on you for 3 or 4 quarters, you can't ask those offensive linemen to try to pass block for 4 quarters 50 times a game.
But that's the forte of Dan Fouts. He knows how to get rid of the ball. He knows how to find the receivers. He's not going to get sacked often.
Ralph Mozinsko, the rookie out of Michigan State, has been kicking well in the early going, gets off a poor kick. That is down by San Diego, up around the 28-yard line. No return on the part of Fulton Walker. That ball kicked high and short. Mozinko coming in tonight with over a 45-yard average, and now final instructions given to Mark Wilson, who has not been pretty in doing so, but he has guided the Raiders to 4 consecutive victories in the last 4 outings. Came up as the #1 draft pick in 1980. Has been really given this football team to be his own on several occasions, and on each occasion it's always been Plunkett who has come back to carry the Raiders into the playoffs in the Super Bowl. On first down, Wilson will put it in the air. That ball deflected, bounces off Charger hands, and is incomplete. Wilson for the season, a little over 47%, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, has had really some courageous games over the past few weeks. He has a very sore shoulder. He has a very sore ankle. Last week against Cleveland, before firing the winning touchdown pass into the end zone to Todd Christensen in the final seconds, was fighting a bout of flu. The backup quarterback, Hilger, was really sick, so Mark Wilson knew he was just about the only thing the Raiders had to go with. A courageous effort by Wilson. On 2nd and 10, Marcus Allen. Oh, he does it so well. Taken out of bounds near first down yardage. Danny Walters was over there defensively. That play designed to go inside. You saw it. Just skipping to the outside. Not great speed, O.J., but tremendous timing.
Yes, he does, and he sees the field well. The reason he was able to cut back on that play is, unlike most backs who will line up in a one-back offense, they'll line up about 4.5 yards back. He lined up 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage on that play, so that gives you a lot of room to see what's happening all along the line, and he was able to see that there was room back away from where the play was designed to go.
And this San Diego defense notoriously gives the runners a lot of room to run in, or run with.
3 tight ends are in. That would indicate the run. They like to send Marcus Allen over the top. This time he stays on his feet, gets out over the 40-yard line for the first down near the 41. Marcus Allen has corrected one problem he's had over the past few years, and they have been few because he really is now just in 3.5 years of his career. He has handled the ball 172 times this season, pass receiving and running. He has yet to fumble. And Marcus Allen, when he came into this game, carried it very loosely and was the reason for a lot of Raider turnovers. Meanwhile, Cliff Branch, O.J. touched on the fact that this 37-year-old veteran was activated. He still has that great speed. The Raiders were getting very low on receivers. They brought Branch back today on first down. Wilson puts it up, and he's hit just as he hangs the ball in the air. Danny Walters was covering Dokie Williams. It's incomplete.
And that's going to be a major key in this game. Which team can get pressure on the quarterback? We know that Mark Wilson is not a healthy quarterback now with the shoulder injury, and we know Dan Fouts isn't a healthy quarterback right now. So the offensive lines of both teams have the major task tonight, protect their quarterback.
The San Diego defense is not a great defense, and that is an understatement. But they changed defensive coordinators 4 weeks ago. They brought in Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, the #1 defense against the run a year ago. And things have started to turn around for the San Diego defense. They're playing much better. Frank Hawkins in the arms of Lee Williams, and he drags Lee Williams for about 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7. There is a former LA Express player taken in the draft a year ago by the San Diego Chargers and has turned into their best pass rusher. The San Diego Chargers have 19 sacks of opposition passers, 12 of them, I might add, in the last 3 games, as they have improved under Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator. But Williams has 6 of their overall 19 sacks. It's 3rd down and 7. Tim Moffitt, a rookie from Mississippi, is in their wide receiver. Marcus Allen, the single setback. He works so well out of the backfield, does Marcus Allen. Wilson is hit arm was not in motion. And a heads-up play by Charlie Hanna.
Well, Frankie says a heads-up play by Charlie Hanna, but that was a blitz from the weak side, and I must believe that was Charlie Hanna's man that made the tackle on Mark Wilson.
It was Carlos Bradley.
Now,
Let's take a look on the left side.
Look at
Hanna is 73.
See, he should be out there. He has no man to block. His man is to get the first man outside of the tackle, and that was his man who hit number 50 who came around there, Charlie Bradley, who hit the quarterback.
What a costly turnover that could have been without play of Charlie Hanna, who I'm quite sure you're right, O.J. Bradley, in all probability, was his man. Great guy. He's having a great year. Punts away for the Raiders. Hangs it high. Gives Little Train Lionel James no opportunity to return it. Fair catch is made and executed at the 18-yard line. Just underway from Los Angeles, the Raiders and the Chargers, we have no score.
When the Raiders and Chargers met on Monday Night Football, Marcus Allen scored 4 touchdowns, tying the Monday night record and leading Los Angeles to a 33-30 victory.
San Diego Chargers, second offensive possession. I mentioned earlier they're 3-4 in the season. They've come off a pair of losing seasons. If you follow this game, you also know that Don Coryell, their innovative coach, is under a little pressure from new owner Alex Spanos. Bounce back on first down. Stays in the pocket. A lot of time, and that ball is picked off. Mike Haynes. Well, they say he's the best in the game. Fouts told us today that he is remarkably consistent. The one thing that he really has admired over the years about Haynes was his consistency, and he played that oh so well. Take a look at Charlie Joyner. Pressure, and look at Haynes, right into his eyes, and he's right on him, just like a blanket, like a shadow. Fouts had the ball there. Haynes, with that little burst that he still has after 10 years, gets the interception. Just an incredible move by Haynes and great coverage.
Well, one thing that Fouts told us today is they really don't have a burner now. Charlie doesn't have the speed. They don't have enough burners outside to intimidate the Raider defense.
Allen inside the 25-yard line on first down, over the right side, behind Henry Lawrence and Mickey Marvin. And that offensive line for the Raiders that's been troubled all year long with injuries is starting to get healthy. And the one thing they can do is punish you. They are big, and they will wear you down. As we look at maybe the premier defensive back in this game today, Mike Haynes. Pro Bowl 7 of his last 9 years. That was his 35th career interception. 2nd and 3. Wilson back again. Underneath is Hawkins, and he'll have a Raider first down. He's inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Billy Ray Smith made the stop there.
This young man, Mark Wilson, has been playing good football. He came out to the stadium a couple weeks ago. People booed him here in Los Angeles. He doesn't look like a graceful athlete, but meantime, they've won 4 games in a row. He's doing a good job. This last play, he looked downfield. He bought his time. He didn't have a receiver open. He kept cool enough to dump it off. Mark's coming on strong. I think he's going to be just fine.
They have counted so much on Mark Wilson, their first round pick from 1980. They're apparent to Jim Plunkett. First down, goal to go. Marcus Allen finds a hole in the middle of the line and just explodes down close to the 3-yard line. It took Carlos Bradley, who's filling in for an ailing Woody Lowe, and Lyndon King both to bring him down.
Once again, that's an excellent job by the offensive line. I had a chance to talk with Art Schill, the assistant offensive line coach, and he said they just had a meeting. Some of the guys are healthier, but they realized they hadn't been getting the job done. And as a unit, they started about 4 weeks ago just working and determined to get the job done. And since that time, Marcus has really been running the ball well, and they've been protecting the quarterback.
2nd down, goal to go. Allen in motion. Lyndon King misses Mark Wilson. Back of the end zone, Todd Christensen, and Allen tried to get it on the tip, but he was out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go.
I still got to wonder, as a running back, why when we run the ball, we're getting about 5 or 6 yards on every carry. It's 2nd down on the 4. Why wouldn't we just pop one in there? You know, just one more shot at it.
Because I guess everyone else feels like that they're going to run the ball. Like running back, let's run it. I think he just tried to cross them up and throw the pass, and his timing was thrown off, really.
Don Coryell, under fire at San Diego. Had trouble over the past 2 years. 7-9 a year ago. 6 in 10 and 83 after winning 3 straight division titles there. The Raiders have a third down, goal to go. Wilson hit again as he tries to get it out to Andy Parker, the tight end. And Wilson now, who takes some tremendous shots, he'll stand in there. It's almost like he doesn't see them coming, riveted on the receiver. And this is how Wilson plays, and you wonder how long he can play doing it that way.
Well, what the Chargers did that time, they brought Gil Byrd, a safety, who was playing corner also tonight, and they tried to outnumber the protection of the Raiders, and they did it that time. Mark didn't want to throw the ball as quickly as he had to.
Tom Flores, the former record-setting quarterback for these Raiders, looks on as Chris Barr is on for a 21-yard field goal attempt. And the Raiders open the scoring from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. They get the turnover in Charger territory, but they have to settle for 3. Jim Plunkett, who's had more professional football lives than a cat, out again this season, dislocated shoulder that keeps popping out on him occasionally. That went out in the 3rd game of the season against the 49ers, and it has been Mark Wilson ever since. But what a remarkable career for this former Heisman Award winner from Stanford, New England, traded to the 49ers. They gave up on him a few years ago. Resurrected by the Raiders, took them to 3 Super Bowl titles. Buford McGee will bring it out for the Chargers. And not far to the 11-yard line. A hustling special teams for the Raiders. Headed by James Davis. So out comes the offensive unit once again for the San Diego Chargers. Live at 3 o'clock Eastern, Notre Dame versus Navy, at Notre Dame Stadium, or Florida State versus the University of Miami. That's Saturday on CFA College Football. Coming off their big win over USC, Notre Dame will battle Navy, or Florida State will take on Miami. Check your local listings for the game in your area. We open at 3 o'clock with college football today. Be with us. On first down, Dan Fouts fires it out over the middle. And
that's good coverage by their worst cover guy, Matt Millen. That's one guy you don't want in the pass defense, but he did a heck of a job of coverage that time and making a tackle.
He sure did. They had 2 tight ends on in the game, and what they're trying to do is work Matt Millen, make him try to cover. As Dan Fouts told us today, quite often against the Raiders, Matt Millen doesn't play much against them.
Holohan got 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. The draw play, keeping things honest. That's Gary Anderson. Got to do this occasionally. That Raider defense just turns everyone loose if you just keep putting the ball in the air. That time the draw play designed just to make it a little more control for them. Anderson gets 1 out of it. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
I think they ought to start really establishing the passing game before they start with the draws and things. They really haven't established much of a passing game yet to be running draw plays.
Raiders tough defensively. 2nd in the AFC through 7 games. 1st against the run, 3rd against the pass. They have 31 sacks. That's high in the AFC after 7 games. Here they come on the blitz. Stop. Will go down at the 6-yard line. Howie Long was there first, I believe. He leads the team now with his 8th sack. Just a great player. Plays all up and down that line. You see him right on the nose now. Opens the left end. But they'll move him anywhere where he can get a bit of advantage against the blocker. And that's just about anyone who tries to block him.
Well, both 2nd down plays that the Chargers have run have really ended up without any yardage gained. Both draw plays were, well, bad calls, in my opinion.
Moshenko is in to punt. Fulton Walker is deep. For 4 years, a fine return man for the Miami Dolphins, Fulton Walker, and he should give the Raiders good field position once again as Moshenko, the rookie from Michigan State, kicks from the end zone. And it's off the side of his foot. Walker at his own 45. And Walker, the leader in the AFC, coming into tonight with a fine return inside the 40-yard line near the 37. 38-yard punt by Moshenko. And the Raiders have great field position once again. 6:21 remaining in the first quarter. Full moon in a Southern California sky on a beautiful night for football. Temperatures throughout the day in the low 70s. And, of course, all you people in the southeast affected by Hurricane Juan, who has come ashore, you have our concern. Meanwhile, we have 6:21 remaining in the first quarter of the Raiders and Chargers here from Los Angeles. Frank Gifford along with Joe Namath and O.J. Simpson, and the Raiders are in Charger territory once again, and this is Marcus Allen taking a Mark Wilson pass inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 8. It'll be second down and 2. Gil Bird up there defensively to make the stop, one of the young members of that secondary. The secondary has 2 rookie starters at cornerbacks. Gil Bird is only in his 3rd year, and this is his first year at safety as Dave Adolph, the new defensive coordinator, tries to juggle very young talent. And there he is. Did a tremendous job a year ago with the Cleveland Browns in bringing them up to high numbers in the defensive standings. Marcus Allen again. Tried to spin around, get away from the tackler at the 31-yard line. That was Carlos Bradley, and there is a loss.
Well, that was the
about
case.
3.
That was a case of a former great running, handicapping you in the long run. As you recall, in the Super Bowl, Marcus reversed his field and went all the way, probably his most famous run. And over the years, he's gotten away with it a few times. And there are times in short yardage situations, like 2 yards to go, Marcus will try that, and it will really work to the detriment of his team. He should have stayed in the hole there and tried to just get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 4. Ball near the 31-yard line of the Chargers. Mark Wilson is back. Drifts out of the pocket. Looks downfield. Finds Delky Williams. Williams comes down with it. Both feet in bounds. First down Raiders near the 18-yard line on a 12-yard pickup, as it was Delky Williams working against John Hendy. He's one of those rookie cornerbacks I spoke of. Made his first start only last week. Let's look at it again. John Hendy, number 29, giving Delky Williams, who has a lot of speed, just too much room, and you're down this tight. Way off. He was 6 or 7 yards off and inside. First down Raiders. The ball near the 18-yard line of the Chargers. Marcus Allen spots a little hole, and he can get through it so quickly. He's near the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 as the Raiders are getting big plays now on first down. That could be their last stand. Cowboys on top of the Eastern Division of the NFC, 6-2. The Giants were a game back at 5-2. The Cards were 3-5, and the reverse. There's C. Hester, the rookie from Florida State. Yes, touchdown. His second career touchdown. The number 1 draft pick out of Florida State. Brings it around. It worked like you would draw it on the board. A look from the end zone.
Well, you see on this replay, Mike Green, number 58, Lee Williams, 99, and 57 from the Chargers all got fooled. They didn't pay any attention to reverse a bootleg and got caught out of position in the chase position.
Chris Barr put in the upright. And the Raiders, their defense got it back for them once. They got it back for them twice. They get points on either occasion. He's 5'6 and a half. He weighs 170 pounds, but he's a lot of football player. Lionel Little Train James took one back 100 yards against Cincinnati earlier this year. Had it called back, or 89 yards of it called back on a penalty. He's back there for the Chargers, along with Gary Anderson. But this will be the Train. That's what they call him, and he'll bring it out. And Little Train dances around, moves up close to the 15-yard line. Perhaps better advised to have stayed in with that Chris Barr kick, which carried high and deep into the end zone. And Dan Fouts, who has been in a lot of Raider contests, drops back onto the field. Talked to him today, the knee which he injured 3 weeks ago. He says it's fine. He's rather stoic about injuries, as you'll hear at halftime. A very philosophical point of view. And he's had his share. And when he has been hurt, the Chargers have been in deep trouble. It is his football team offensively, totally. And he looks over, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Back. That's pressure on the part of Howie Long. The Stouts tried to get it to Lionel James.
Well, they were looking for a mismatch on that play. They worked Lionel James out as a wide receiver during training camp, but the Raiders, I think, are a little ahead of them. They had 5 defensive backs in the game on first down.
get a pretty good idea of their philosophy, how the pass is so prevailing with them. They brought in Gary Anderson, a great running back. Joe touched on it, leading rusher in the USFL over the past 3 years. They started working immediately out as a wide receiver. They get run. This is a passing team offensively. And when they lose the main man, Dan Fouts, they get into a lot of trouble. 2nd and 10. Tim Spencer and the Raiders. First in the conference against the rush. Stacked Spencer up at the line of scrimmage. Lyle Alzado, the 15-year veteran, was there with Bill Pickell.
It's the third series offensively. San Diego's had the ball, and the third time on 2nd down that they ran it and didn't get anything.
Well, they were trying to cross the Raiders up. Once again, the Raiders, as we mentioned earlier, Matt Millen is on the sideline, and they have all their pass coverage guys out on the football field, and Chargers tried to mix them up.
Chargers not tearing up the Raiders. 3:44, the clock moving, remaining in the first quarter. Raiders overpowering defensively. Again, pressure on Fouts. Ball is loose. Greg Townsend was there. And the right tackle, Sam Clapham, was able to save the turnover, but Dan Fouts is just not getting the time to get the ball downfield.
And, Joe, that's one of the reasons they're running the football occasionally. Poor Dan, he's just gotten back. This may not have been the week for them to bring him back.
From around the corner, there he comes, Greg Townsend. The ball is loose. Clapham, fortunately, was there. And it perhaps was Clapham who should have been blocking on Greg Townsend. Once again, Mojenko is on the punt. Once again from the end zone, and Folden Walker is back. Mojenko gets it to midfield, and it takes a bit of a Raider bounce. And the Raiders will have the ball. Good field position at the 47-yard line. They lead 10-0. Dan Fouts will go over, perhaps pick up the phone, walk upstairs to Ernie Zampese, in charge of coordinating the offensive passing game for these San Diego Chargers. But you can't get much going if you don't have time to do it.
You can't get anything going, and this is the problem right now with the Chargers. Again, I think they're wasting their time on 2nd down running the ball. We all know that the Chargers are a passing football team. They need to establish the passing game. They've made some bad calls.
Meanwhile, Wilson has enjoyed some splendid starting positions because of his defensive team. Inside the 47-yard line of the Chargers. The offensive unit is on once again, and Marcus Allen to the 40-yard line. And seems like on every first down, they have been able to produce major yardage.
Well, you complain, Joe. You've been complaining about what the Chargers will do on 2nd down. I'm complaining about what the Raiders do on 2nd down. I think they should continue to run the ball. They've gotten about 7 or 8 yards, as Frank said, on 1st down on each series, running it, and then they go to throwing on 2nd down.
2nd down and 4
in the play.
Dokie Williams right. Wilson fires a shot. He gets it to Todd Christensen to the 31-yard line in the arms of Gil Bird there. Christensen into the night leading receiver with 41 receptions. Last week, 6 receptions for Christensen, a former running back who was released by Dallas and released by the Giants and turned into an all-pro tight end by the Raiders. He had 6 receptions against Cleveland and caught the game winner with just seconds left. He's quite a clutch player, number 46, Todd Christensen. On 1st down, Marcus Allen. Good running, taken from behind by Lyndon King. And not until he picks up good yardage once again. He'll get 4 out of that. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
He wish he had a tearaway jersey on that run. He looks like he's limping a little bit. He had a tearaway. They got about 12 yards out of that.
It's a remarkable career in only 3.5 years, and one of those years was a strike-shortened season of 82 with 9 games. Allen has almost 3,500 yards rushing, 198 receptions. His next touchdown will be his 50th, and those are Canton, Ohio statistics. 2nd and 6. Wilson with a lot of time. Looks deep. Trying to get the rookie Hester open. Good coverage by Danny Walters. He had good position inside. Wilson, however, a little short.
Oh, way short, Frank. He had plenty of time that time. You have to lay the ball up and over the defender to the outside, and And that time, Mark wasn't even close. That was really a poorly thrown ball. You know, one thing I don't want to forget right now, or go much further without mentioning, is the kicking game. San Diego, their punting has been horrendous. The 3 times out of 4 that the Raiders have taken possession has been inside of the San Diego's territory, inside the 50.
3rd down and 6. You saw the play being sent into Mark Wilson. Flags are down. And usually where you get the holding call. And that's what it'll be. A referee again tonight, Dick Jorgensen. And when they send those plays into Mark Wilson, this is a departure for the Raiders. Plunkett called his own plays up until a few weeks ago. This man called his own plays, Mark Wilson. But they had a youngster. Here's our call.
Number 70, offense, in front.
Henry Lawrence is holding. And they have a youngster backing up the quarterback, a rookie from Oklahoma State, that they thought they might have to go with. So they put that system in of calling the plays from the bench.
I guess they feel that Barr can't reach it or make this field goal from this distance. Otherwise, they would have taken that holding penalty.
Dave Dalby is the center. His 197th consecutive game played. He'll provide the snap for a 45-yard Chris Barr effort. Barr misses. Now the Chargers will have relatively good field position considering where they've been on the night. They'll have it at the line of scrimmage. 1st down and 10, and that's up near the 27-yard line.
You know, with a kicker in the NFL that's hitting the ball reasonably well, you take that penalty. But Barr has been missing, and obviously San Diego knew that.
So the strategy works for the Chargers. 1:17 remaining in the first quarter. The Chargers down 10-0. That strategy may have worked, but they had better have worked on the drawing board to buy some time for Dan Fouts. He's under tremendous pressure and has been all evening. Fouts. This is Lionel James. And the little one in his second year out of Auburn is out to the 33-yard line. Gain of almost 7 yards. Reggie McKenzie, the rookie starting linebacker, in place of an injured Bob Nelson, made the stop. I told you he's 5'6.5", but he plays very tall. 221 yards rushing thus far in the season, ended the night, 38 receptions, all-purpose yardage. In 2 games against Cincinnati and Seattle, he had over 600 yards. 2nd and 4, and Fountain fires a strike. Strike to, again, Wes Chandler. Chandler gets the 1st down out over the 45-yard line. He's at the 48-yard line, and that could be the last play of this quarter. Well, San Diego in the late moments on a missed field goal by Chris Barr, got good field position. Now they have moved up close to midfield. And the Chargers will not get the play off as Todd Christensen looks on. Colorful tight end and a very talented one. The Raiders lead at 10-0. We'll be back. We begin the second quarter action. Frank Gifford along with Joe Namath and O.J. Simpson. The Raiders with the win tonight will stay abreast of the Denver Broncos at 6-2 in this tough Western Division of the AFC. For the Chargers, they are 3-4 into the night, battling for respectability and to get back into this division race. Tim Spencer, single setback for the Chargers. 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Fouts. And a flag goes down. That pass is caught by Gary Anderson. Flag is down. Was it offensive or defensive interference? Told you they had worked Anderson out as a flanker.
Yeah, they put him out there. And O.J. and I were both looking at that. They had one-on-one coverage with the linebacker, Jeff Barnes.
Well, something was definitely wrong on the play because Matt Millen started to run on the field right as the ball was snapped. I think the Raiders may have been short a man on that play.
Here's Dick Jorgensen.
Play was called for 12 on the field, but there were only 11. Touchdown.
Hello.
Gary Anderson from 52 yards out. He made a terrific catch. That is not Gary Anderson's position. Wasn't at Arkansas. Wasn't at Tampa Bay in the USFL. The Chargers brought him in a few weeks ago. Stuck him out there. They worked on him. He is a great athlete, a great runner. And Who knows? Maybe a great wide receiver of the future.
Well, having a linebacker trying to cover your man-to-man can make it look good, too.
And that's exactly why the Chargers have been working guys like Lionel James and of course, Anderson outside because they're looking for those mismatches.
Barnes was the linebacker that Anderson beat. He made an acrobatic catch, got it into the end zone. There was no penalty, and the Chargers, just like that, and that's the way they play this game, are back in the football game. You get the sense and a feel about this man that he is going to become a great one. He was great in the USFL. You get the feeling that he's going to do the same thing here in the NFL.
Well, a guy that can run the ball the way he can run the ball, and he has excellent hands. And as we were just saying, when you can get that type of mismatch, a guy who can play wide receiver with all the situation substitutions that they're doing on defense, to have that guy play a multitude of positions, he's going to force a linebacker to cover a guy like Anderson. That just can't be done, not consistently.
Again, tough play by Dan Fouts. He hung in there, he was under pressure, and he got it off.
It's a heck of a catch, but you know what? Anytime we can line a linebacker, Jeff Barnes, number 56, in a cornerback position, we're going to throw at him, or any offensive team will throw at him, and that's exactly what Fouts did that time with Anderson.
The key is what Dan Fouts told us this morning. Every receiver in a pass pattern of the San Diego Chargers is alive. Fouts comes up, looks over the defense, sees the coverage, and perhaps sees it as good as anyone in this game today. He picked it up. Coverage on a speedy running back by a linebacker. He knew right away where he was going. Sam Seal will bring it out for the Raiders. To the 28-yard line. And the Raiders will have first and 10. Their lead shortened to 10-7. 14:42 remaining in the half. Who caught the first touchdown pass of Dan Fouts' NFL career? I have not a clue.
Okay, let's see. Vicky Post wasn't around at that time. Lance Allworth, I think, was gone.
He was way gone. At the 28-yard line. First down, Raiders. Mark Wilson, a little draw fake. Fires deep downfield, gets it to Doki Williams. He was in there wide open in the zone, and a well-thrown ball by Mark Wilson. First down, Raiders. Up close to the 45-yard line.
He was wide open.
17-yard pickup.
He was wide open because Mike Green and Billy Ray Smith didn't drop back in the coverage. That draw fake held him.
Jerry Levias.
SMU. Go ahead, SMU.
Dan Fouts talking to Ernie Zampese, who is up in the press box. Sends the plays down to wigwag out to Dan Fouts. Marcus Allen hit right at the line of scrimmage. Little or no game there. It'll be second down and 10. Mike Green, inside linebacker. The one solid area of this defense for San Diego are the linebackers. They have been together now for 3 years. Lyndon King, Mike Green, Billy Ray Smith, Woody Lowe, who will not be seeing much action tonight because of a pulled stomach muscle, but they have been together for 3 years. Second and 10. Christensen was wide open and did not handle it. And that is rare. Very sure-handed, the tight end, Todd Christensen.
Very unlike Todd. He's a guy with 172 receptions in the last 2 years.
But you wonder why he's so wide open. The reason he's so open is because it was a good play action fake, and the linebackers were frozen, and they forgot to cover Todd. The play action fake was what enabled Todd to get open.
Third down and a little less than 10. Opening moments of the second quarter. Raiders leading the Chargers 10-7. Marcus Allen, single setback, but he worked so well out of that backfield as a receiver. Wilson just had too much on that for Todd Christensen to handle the ball. And the punting team will come out. That one needed a little touch.
Yeah, that was good selection on Mark's behalf and finding Christensen, but you're right, Frank, you need a little touch there. Ball had too much velocity on it. Could have dropped it in there. Mark was there. Todd was wide open.
Train is back. Lionel James with over 1,000 all-purpose yards. 6th-round draft pick a year ago out of Auburn, and boy, they got themselves a package. Even though it comes in a small container. Ray Guy leading the league and getting it inside the 20. And he does so again. His 19th time this year that he's been able to put that ball inside the 20-yard line. 38-yard punt, no return. And they have not been returning many balls off Ray Guy this year. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. So many fond memories for those of us at ABC. The Summer Games, the 23rd Olympiad, summer before last. It all took place. The track and field right here. The great marathon ended here. And now, San Diego Chargers have a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And Dan Fouts will go down. 3rd sack of Dan Fouts tonight. He's down at the 13-yard line. There will be a loss of about 4.
Well, I'm afraid Dennis McKnight simply couldn't handle Howie Long that time. And again, that's going to be the key here. The game in the pitch, the offensive lineman and defensive lineman is going to depend on who beats whom here. And so far, the Raiders have the edge.
Brad Van Pelt also in on that play, the 13-year veteran and former All-Pro of the New York Giants. It'll be 2nd down and 13 as they have marked it up close to the 14. Lionel James. Down goes James. Fine tackle, Matt Millen.
Oh, that's curious, Joe. I agree with you on that play. When you look at the Raider defense and you see Matt Millen and basically the Raiders' basic defense, which is geared to stop the run first and foremost, you would think that's the defense they would prefer to throw against.
At the 3rd, 2nd down, they ran 2 draws and a quick pitch. I can't figure it out.
3rd and 14, and with the one exception, the touchdown pass to Gary Anderson, this has been a smothering Raider defense of the Charger offense. Holohan on the move, number 88. Sack again, 4th sack of Fouts. As the Raiders just turn everyone loose on that. They knew that Fouts was going to put it up, and they drop him all the way back inside the 7.
Rod Martin came into the game with 4.5 sacks. He's been their defensive player of the year 3 out of the last 5 years. They call him Claw. He has the hardest hands you've ever seen in your life.
There's Rod Martin coming over the top. Howie Long was there. That's how the quarterback feels when they're all coming, and they were. Mojenko, the punt. Colton Walker is back. And this time Mojenko catches one over the head of Colton Walker all the way back to the 25-yard line. The flag is down at the line of scrimmage. A great kick by the rookie 4th-round pick from Michigan State, but hold on, a flag is down. And usually that flag will work against the kicking team.
The ball at the 25.
The illegal man downfield. And a great effort by the young kicker from Michigan State will be nullified. They'll have to do it again and from in closer to their own end zone. That was a 68-yard effort. You know, this Mojenko is also a fine field goal kicker at Michigan State. And the Chargers are using Bob Thomas at the moment, but if they had to, they could go with him.
Downfield, numbers 53 and 55, punting team, still 4th down.
Boy, the entire class of 83. So Mojenko will have to give it another go. Started to say, good field goal kicker at Michigan State, had a 61-yarder there during his career. 35 of 53. Chargers, however, are using him just for the punting chores. Ralph Penerska played 1 game, their longtime field goal kicker. He went out with a pulled groin muscle, and Bob Thomas now handles the field goal duties. Mojenko once again. And what a difference a kick will make. The first one was at 68 yards a moment ago. This one at 32 yards, and the Raiders, leading 10-7, have great field position. They're at the 35-yard line of the Chargers. We'll be back in the Coliseum in a moment. 6 of the Raiders' possessions tonight have started in Charger territory. It'll tell you a couple of things. Chargers are unable to move the ball effectively against the Raiders. They've sacked Dan Fouts 4 times. I'll tell you something else. The Raiders are having a hard time putting points on the board. They have had great field position all night. Once again, they have a first down at the 35-yard line of the Chargers. They, however, only need 10-7. Cliff Branch is in the lineup, number 21. 37-year veteran. There he is. still has the quickness and the speed. This is Marcus Allen. Allen tried to work an inside play to the outside. He's held for a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Gil Bird defensively there on the stop. There's Cliff Branch. Oh, what a career he's had. Came up those many years ago, 14 to be exact, over 500 receptions. Comes over the top from a single setback. Marcus Allen, his 50th career touchdown. In about 3.5 years, so many of his great moments took place right on this very field. Heisman Award days at the University of Southern California. His senior year, over 2,300 yards. That's hard to believe. And a class person all the way.
A great football player. Todd Christensen certainly helped this last drive, though. Todd made a great individual effort, not only catching the ball, but running over 2 tacklers.
Chris Barr puts the upright. Todd Christensen breaks a 1st down effort, turns it into a 27-yard pickup, and Marcus Allen capitalizes. That time, the Raiders took advantage of good field position. They got it in all the way. Great effort by Christensen, and then this.
Marcus Allen, this is what the Raiders have been doing so well lately. You see Charlie Hanna coming around, just power off-tackle football, and Marcus Allen not only being elusive, but being very strong.
Good block by Hawkins, also the lead back. This time, Lionel Little Train James will stay in the end zone, and the Chargers will at least begin play from their own 20-yard line. Let's pause 5 seconds now and allow our stations to identify themselves. 9:05 remaining in the first half, and it's the Raiders over San Diego 17-7. Raiders open the scoring with a Barr field goal and a Hester 13-yard reverse to lead a 10-0. Fouts came right back at Gary Anderson for 52 yards out, and then it was Marcus Allen a few moments ago. Touchdown Raiders from in close. The Raiders lead at 17-7. On 1st down, Fouts again under pressure, but he gets the ball loose to Houlihan. And Houlihan will have a Charger 1st down out to the 41-yard line, and Dan Fouts, who's been sacked 4 times tonight, can perhaps breathe just a little bit more easily. He's been operating right under his crossbar pretty much all evening. Good blocking here, but again, even the surge put pressure on him.
Well, Houlihan got inside right away, and the defender's in the chase position, Stacy Turan. Now, I promise you, these guys, Fouts doesn't know who he's going to pass the football to, but all 5 receivers are in every single play.
James over the left side gets a yard out of that. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
You know, when I say all 5 receivers are in every single play, sometimes the quarterback calls a play and he's determined to go to 1 or 2 receivers. Well, the San Diego Charger attack is different, and this is what makes it so good. Because of Fouts' capabilities of being able to read the defenses, and because of the receivers being able to read the defenses, they really don't know who the number 1 receiver is each play. So all 5 of them believe they're going to catch the football, so they go all out on every single play.
At the Charger, 42-yard line, 2nd and 9. Safety blitz on Fouts. Did not have time to take advantage of the man-for-man coverage. It was Stacy Turan in on Fouts. He had Wes Chandler matched up on single coverage, but he did not have time to get it to him. It'll be 3rd down and 9. We're going to take a close-up look at the very interesting Dan Fouts. Very philosophical about this game. Very tough-minded. Not only physically tough, but he is strong mentally. I think you'll enjoy that. And I mentioned earlier, we're going to take a look at a lot of football players who have, at the end of their careers, have gone into the world of the touchpin. 3rd down and 9. Fouts again with pressure, gets it to Winslow. A flag is down as there was contact being made between Lester Hayes and Wes Chandler away from the play. Winslow has the football close to midfield, short of the 1st down, but there was contact between Lester Hayes and Wes Chandler. Well, apparently something wrong with the RF microphone of referee Dick Jorgensen.
Well, what they did, they called holding on Hayes, which is going to give them automatic first down because the Chargers really got a poor spot on the ball. I thought Winslow had the first down.
Illegal contact, number 37, defense, first down.
Lester Hayes well away from the play, I think, even when the contact was made. This is Wes Chandler. There's Lester Hayes. He can only touch him inside the 5. Right there, he cannot do that. Outside the 5-yard line. And granted, they're allowing much more liberal coverage for defensive backs, so they're not allowing that. Automatic first down, as Joe mentioned, at the 47-yard line. The Chargers on the move with 7:30 and the clock moving remaining in the first half. And the Chargers down 17-7. Holohan moving once again. This time Fountain has some time. Throws it into a lot of traffic where Kellen Winslow was working against side safety Mike Davis, and it's incomplete.
I don't believe he threw the ball over there. There were really 6 defenders in that area and 3 receivers. Of course, Dan sees things a little differently than most quarterbacks.
Dan Fouts, 42 300-yard games. Give you an idea of how good that is. Johnny Unitas held the record until he broke it at 26. He's had 5 400-yard games. Tonight, he's 5 of 11 against a tough Raider defense, 96 yards. And he's been sacked 4 times. Lionel James spins, twists, and does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Matt Millen, he is so tough against the run. The former defensive end for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
That's 4 second down plays that they have run the football, and I think they have minus yardage at this point.
Well, they shouldn't run the ball with Matts in the game. You're 5'6" if you're Lionel James, and you're running against a guy who's not much taller than you are, but he weighs 250 pounds, and he's as tough as any linebacker in the game against the run.
They have 7 yards at this point. 3rd down and 11. That's Wes Chandler, 89 on the move. Dan Fouts goes down, 5th time tonight. Bill Pickell led that charge by the Raiders' defensive front. That's his 5th sack of the year. The Raiders ended tonight at 31 after 7 games. They trailed only the Giants, who had 37. And at this rate, they could go for a league record tonight. They've sacked Dan Fouts now 5 times.
You have to wonder, here's a football team that lives by throwing the football, passing the football. You'd think they could pass protect better than what they're doing tonight.
And they are not even allowing Fouts time to find the checkoff man. Colton Walker is back, dangerous return man. Mojenko, who has not been the most consistent of punters tonight, hangs up another short one. Here comes Walker. Stretch move by Walker at the 35-yard line as he stretches it out over the 40. Well, Mojenko erratic tonight. That was a little deeper than he had been punting on his other occasions, but he kicked it low, and that gave Walker a chance to bring it back. Next Monday night, we'll be in St. Louis. The Cowboys and the Cardinals. The Cowboys, of course, leading the NFC Eastern Division by 1 over the Giants. The Cardinals have fallen on hard ways in recent weeks. They know, I think, certainly Neil Lomax, Roy Green, know that they almost have to win that one. And they always play Dallas very tough in St. Louis, and we'll be there next Monday night. Those are the last 4 possessions of the Raiders. Marcus Allen looks back inside, just glides so gracefully inside a block and gets over the 45 to the 47. A gain of 5 before he's hit by Mike Green and Lyndon King. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, Marcus got 5 yards out of that. There really wasn't much there, but Frank Hawkins, his fullback, number 27, is only 5'9", but he weighs 210 pounds. And there's one thing he does real well. He gets to his block in a hurry. And if you're a tailback, the one thing you want your fullback to do is get to the block quick, even if he misses it, so you can see what you have to do.
Allen got 6 out of that. And it'll be 2nd down, a long 4. And Wilson is back. Christensen wide open. Christensen to the 5-yard line. He ran right by his defender. He tried to go with him with a linebacker. And John Christensen is loving it tonight.
Actually, Frankie had Gil Byrd, a safety who has had some experience playing cornerback, covering him one-on-one, and there's no reason for Gil Byrd to get beat by Todd Christensen.
But Gil thought he was going to go inside. He took a little bite, thought he was going inside, and Todd went deep.
Way to go, Todd. Nice
I
little
mentioned
move.
earlier that Gil Byrd is playing a new position this year. He's only in his third year, and his first 2 years were at cornerback. And he was up there in that linebacking position, working against Todd Christensen, who is so much stronger, so much more powerful. We just threw him off like a match. First down, goal to go. Marcus Allen to the 3-yard line, hit there by John Hendy.
John Hendy on the stop.
5 minutes and the clock is ticking away here in the first half in a game that has been dominated by the Raiders, with the one exception, a 52-yard touchdown pass, Dan Fouts to Gary Anderson, when the Raiders tried to cover Gary Anderson, the speedy running back, for the linebacker, Jeff Barnes. Even then, he had to make a circus catch. Second down, goal to go. Marcus Allen looking for touchdown number 2 tonight and held short of the goal line.
Well, he certainly earned the right to carry the ball on the next play because he's pounding in there, and he's certainly running as hard as a back can run. One of the reasons Marcus will never have a high average per carry is because they rely on him so much in short yardage situations because of his ability to run hard and fly at times.
And we could see that. He's down there where he likes to go to the top, and you're exactly right. His average per carry has been shortened over the years by the fact they love to use him on short yardage, down close to the goal line. He has 57 yards on the night thus far, Marcus Allen. And right now, Mark Wilson has called timeout. His 30-second clock was ticking down. He didn't want to run the risk of the 5-yard penalty in this close, so he uses one of the Raider timeouts. They are comfortably in command with 4:00 remaining in the first half. And Mark Wilson will come over and talk with Tom Flores. Tom Flores right there in the middle. Took over this team in '79 and has had remarkable success. He's won a couple of Super Bowls. His first year, he beat Philadelphia. That was after the 1980 season. Then Super Bowl 18. And they just blew away Washington. Good quarterback when he was with the Raiders, set quite a few records for them. And now I think it's safe to say that the future is in the hands of this young man, Mark Wilson. And we don't know about the future of this man. He has been under fire. Oddly enough, he's had great success wherever he's gone. San Diego State, Whittier. Then he took the Cardinals to 2 divisional titles in the 70s. Came to the San Diego Chargers in 78, in 79, 80, and 81. He won the division, but over the past couple of years, it's been tough sledding for Don Coryell. They've been 7-9 and 6-10. And Alex Spanos, who reportedly paid $44 million cash for 67% of these charges, is also reportedly not. That's what we spoke of a moment ago. Marcus Allen on the fly. Second touchdown of the night, 51st touchdown of his career.
And there's only one way you can stop a play like that. You have to have your corners try to fly around those ends, and if they're throwing a pass on you, you just have to take that gamble. But when Marcus is this close, his ability to get up there, it's almost impossible to stop him.
You see how high he gets. From the 3-yard line, he just launches it. Almost looks like the Fosburg flop. Barr. And the Raiders have extended their lead, totally dominating this game now. They've been overwhelming on defense.
Overwhelming, and they've gotten a better than fair shake in the kicking game so far. They've taken over the football, I think, every time but once in the opponent's territory.
I feel a little like Al Michaels the other night. He said, we're not looking for ways to hide things like this, but the ball players are doing it. I harken back to 1982, and we were here, and San Diego came in. They rolled up a 24-0 lead at halftime. They hung around and watched the Raiders come back to win that one, 28-24.
So, you know, I'm trying to analyze this game and looking at it early. I made I have to admit, a good mistake. I didn't look into the kicking game enough. Right now, Moschelenko, I don't know what his average is, but it has to be in the short 30s, 34, 35-yard average. And so far, 37-yard average. It's really a shame for this San Diego defense that they've had to take over, go on the field every time, with the exception of once inside their own territory. Yeah, he should be practicing.
That's the answer for Michigan saying he can't be happy with it.
He should spend more time over there practicing.
The one he hit for 68 yards was called back. That illegal bend downfield. Meanwhile, Chris Barr will put it in play. And Lionel James will bring it out. And only to the 12-yard line. And hustling down there once again, James Davis. There has been some hitting tonight, and most of it has been on the part of the Raiders. The Chargers have been the hitties. They have been whacked. Tough Raider football team, it really is. They have not been a dynamic offensive team over the past few weeks with the loss of Plunkett. They've been very conservative, relying on their defense, and as we watch tonight, we understand why.
Looks like the Raiders may be short-handed.
Apparently not happy with the personnel. The Raiders use another timeout.
Raiders, second timeout today.
That is their second timeout. And a wasted one, obviously.
You know, we mentioned this Raider defense. It really is one of the finer defenses in the NFL. It's such a contrasting team to the San Diego Chargers. And I'm talking about all the way back in the AFL days, the American Football League. The Chargers were always a wide-open passing game with the likes of Hadel and Keith Lincoln and Paul Lowe. And defensively, you had Willie Brown for the Raiders and Dan Connors. It's been traditional that the Raiders are the tougher of the two teams. Sometimes the finesse takes over, and that's what San Diego's hoping for tonight.
So much history with the American Football Conference lodged in these two teams. San Diego Chargers, originally the LA Chargers. Al Davis, managing general partner and owner of the Raiders, was an assistant coach with the Chargers. And they have been bitter rivals for so many years. Tom Flores played in so many of those memorable games as a quarterback for the Raiders against the Chargers when they were the Oakland Raiders.
As a matter of fact, he started the first game these two teams played against each other. It was the Oakland Raiders and the LA Chargers. And who was the quarterback, Joe, of the LA Chargers?
Jackie Kemp.
Oh, right, guys. Thought I was up on you guys.
He has rather more lofty ambitions, I might add.
And Tobin Rote may have been around there, too, then.
At the 13-yard line, first and 10. Fouts fires one, and he gets it complete, getting to Houlihan, who has been the open receiver tonight thus far for the Chargers, and a little scuffle breaks out between Ben McElroy and Houlihan.
So the Raiders are going to try to intimidate a team from the get-go, but once they get the upper hand, they're really going to try to intimidate you.
Hey, Joe, you were talking about those old Raiders. It was always a kick to play the Raiders. They were the most vocal teams in the league. They always had something to say to you.
And it wasn't very nice,
No,
either.
it sure wasn't. My mother wouldn't have liked this.
Houlihan gets the first down at the 28-yard line. Clock still moving, 3:30 remaining in the first half. Dan Fouts, quick count, trying to do something to slow that pressure down. Out of the backfield and incomplete. Pass caught by James, but he's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, again, good defensive pressure is what caused that pass to be incomplete. James was open, but Dan just couldn't get the ball to him.
Once again, Howie Long putting up the big paw, number 75, and it's been that way all night long if you haven't been with us. Dan Fouts, every time he looks up, he's either looking at a gray helmet or a black jersey. Second down and 10. Chargers at the 28. Over the left side is Buford McGee. Out to the 33-yard line. That, I think, surprised just about everyone. And there is Jim Plunkett. Out with a dislocated shoulder against the 49ers 4 weeks ago. They still think he'll be some time before they can bring him back. Remarkable career. After being Rookie of the Year, the first round Heisman Award draft pick back in 1970 with New England. Everyone thought he was washed up so many times. All he did is win 3 Super Bowls. 3rd down and 5. Stop. Tries to fire for Chandler, and the flag goes down. Lester Hayes was covering Chandler, and Hayes is screaming at the official. And it will work against the Raiders, and in all probability, Lester Hayes.
It's always funny to see a guy who gets caught, right or wrong, how he goes to another official, like that's his counselor, you know, my lawyer.
Number 37, defense, first down.
San Diego keeps it alive with 2:37 remaining in the first half. Lester Hayes, he plays it so tight, as Dan Fouts said today, that Mike Hayes is so consistent in what he will do. When you look over there, however, Dan says, and see number 37, you haven't got a clue what he's going to do. San Diego, 1st and 10 at their own 38. Fouts has the time and gets the ball to Chandler. He's a superb runner once he gets his hands on the football, and he gets the first down for San Diego. He's inside Raider territory near the 49-yard line. The Chargers are going to hurry their huddle. Fouts trying to get things moving quickly and trying to get a play off before the 2-minute warning so he can use that as a timeout. Seconds ticking away. It is now 2:05. He'll go with a quick count, I believe, but he will not get it off before the 2-minute warning. In and out of the hands of Tim Spencer. The Chargers unable to use the 2-minute warning as a timeout, and Fouts, even though he was able to get it away once again, felt all that pressure. It's been that way all night. He's been sacked 5 times. It's tough on a totally pass-oriented team. It was a year ago last summer, one of the happenings that we all remember so well, all of us at ABC, the 23rd Olympiad. Remember rounding the turn, Mary Decker, Zola Budd, and that incident never, of course, fully resolved as to who did what to whom, but very tough on a youngster named Zola Budd. 2nd down and 10. That's Chandler. He'll have another first down near the 37-yard line as the clock continues to tick away. The Chargers, with their full complement of timeouts, they have 3. And nobody can use it much better than Dan Fouts.
Nice seeing Wes Chandler have a good game here tonight. Historically, he's had a tough time with the Raiders. He hurt a knee last year, missed his 2nd game of all time, and he also was held with no receptions in one game, which ended a 47 consecutive streak mark for him.
On 1st down, Fouts is back, throws in the crowd, almost gets it picked off. Defensive play there by Stacey Turan.
You know, with a quarterback that really doesn't have quick feet, why the San Diego Chargers don't have a shotgun offense is baffling to me. You have San Francisco with the good man that can move around. The Dallas Cowboys with Danny White can move around. They use shotgun offenses. Why, with the best passing attack in the game along with Miami's, and Miami uses a shotgun, why does the San Diego Chargers not use a shotgun?
We finally saw Green Bay go to it.
Well, why
quarterback Lynn Dickey?
Why use it if you're the best passing offense in the game?
Because he's been sacked 5 times. That time he buys the time and has the ball into the receiver. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage. We'll have another call. It was Lester Hayes working again against Wes Chandler. They have been in a ruled duel out there. Here's Dick Jorgensen, our referee, once again.
Offside, number 37, defense, still 2nd down.
Third call against Lester Hayes. This time he was lined up offside. You think he didn't want a piece of Chandler early?
Well, every time
aggressive. He's just being aggressive.
If you watch him, every time he comes out to cover his man one-on-one, at least the majority of the time, he will go 4 or 5 yards into the offense's backfield. I guess he tries to screw up the lineup of the receiver. See, he'll cross that line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 4. Bottom of the screen. That's Lester Hayes and Chandler once again. Fouts lots of pressure. Trying to get the ball to Charlie Joyner. Good defensive play. Mike Haynes. Had that ball been thrown maybe perfectly, Haynes might have got his second interception of the night. Take a look at what is going on between Wes Chandler and Lester Hayes. He can only hit him within 5 yards. That you could have called right there. He can't make that contact past 5 yards.
There's not a rule about continuous contact once you...
Well, if you
especially from the backside, too. You're not supposed to push him from his backside.
1:06 remaining in the half. 3rd down and 5. San Diego would dearly love to put some points on the board. Ball incomplete. Again, it was Raider defensive lineman blocking offensive charges right into Dan Fouts' face. Dan Fouts, tough as I said mentally, but he has to be wondering, give me a break, guys. I can do something if you give him a little time.
That's exactly right, and that's why I don't understand why they're not using a shotgun. You do buy a little more time back there. You're already 4 yards deep, and again, Dan is not that nimble at getting back. Seems to me that he'd be in better position to pass the ball. He's already lined up 4 or 5 yards deeper.
Bob Thomas, 6 of 8 on the year, 50-yard attempt. No chance on that one. Never a long kicker when he was with the Chicago Bears. He's kicking now for San Diego because of an injury to Ralph Benerska, who was active only one game this season. Thomas was released by the Bears earlier this year when they kept Kevin Butler, a rookie kicker from Georgia. We watched it a couple of times this year. Who's got a really strong foot. Raiders get it back. With 56 seconds remaining in the half, they have a commanding lead. They have one timeout. They have been dominating this football game, and they have the ball at their own 33-yard line. Marcus Allen likes to break it to the outside, this time pursued by Gil Bird. Also getting out there, Billy Ray Smith. There's a loss of a couple on that. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Once again, halftime activities coming your way. Very interesting. Take a look at highlights from yesterday. Principally the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Tony Dorsett with a huge day down there, as did Tony Hill. Football goes to Hollywood to look at some of the former football players who are now in TV films or movies. And right now, we'll look at Frank Hawkins working the left side for about 4 up to the 35-yard line, and that should expire the time here in the first half. Chargers will go hopefully back to the drawing board, figure out some way to protect their quarterback. They can put the points up there if they can give Dan Fouts the time to throw the football. We'll be back in just a moment after this from our station. Kickoff. Bolton Walker, Seal are back for the Raiders. It'll be Sam Seal on the goal line. Sam. Little opening over the right side, and Seal will take it out to the 24-yard line. Halftime, the score, the Raiders 24, San Diego. Mark Wilson steps back into the huddle in the first half. He was not all that scintillating. 7 of 16, 135 yards, and a great effort from Todd Christensen to set up one of the touchdowns on about a 12-yard pickup that he turned into a 27-yard gain inside the 5. Marcus Allen is swarmed on for a loss back to the 22-yard line, hit there by Billy Ray Smith and Gil Bird. Let's take a look at the stats in the first quarter. I told you the Chargers offense totally overwhelmed by the Raiders defense. Now we'll move on to halftime. Nothing improved a great deal, as LA has almost doubled the output of the Chargers. The Chargers got the one play, a 52-yarder of that total offense of 110 on one shot. A pass from Dan Fouts to Gary Anderson. 52 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 11. Wide open is Marcus Allen, and you can watch it for years. You'll never see that again. Oh, he's a good receiver, right in the hands. Maybe took the eyes off just a little early. He was thinking touchdown.
Yeah, he was wondering where the defensive players were. And I think he thought he was going to put a move on someone, or he's trying to accelerate. As we look at Billy Ray Smith here. Well, Billy's beaten already. Should have bumped him as he came out of the backfield.
Billy Ray, no chance on that one. I think Danny Walters was the man who was supposed to be with Marcus Allen all the way. He got tied up with the first bump at the line of scrimmage. He never got in the picture. It's 3rd down and 11, and I think we'll see that coming back a little later. Allen is so effective out of that backfield. Down goes Wilson. The sack by Lee Williams. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage, and could have been an early departure by one of the Chargers.
Maybe Lee Williams.
Busy night for referee Dick Jorgensen this evening. 2 flags are down. Well, San Diego got both calls, holding and an offside.
Well, I guess you take the holding penalty here and get the automatic first down, huh?
Offside, number 99, defense, decline. Holding, number 23, defense, accepted, first stop.
Danny Walters gets the call, holding. That's an automatic first out of the 28-yard line. Raiders leading 24-7, opening moments here in the second half. Raiders with a win tonight will stay with the Denver Broncos at 6-2 as we move to the halfway mark in this season. Marcus Allen, the ball is loose and is covered quickly by the Chargers, and Mike Green gets it. I mentioned at the very outset of the game that Marcus Allen has had a tremendous number of handles, 172 to be exact, ended tonight without a fumble, and that time he coughed it up. And now the Chargers get an opportunity to get something happening. Watch Gilbert. He's up there. He reaches that hand in and just strips the ball. Knocks it loose. Allen carrying it a little loosely, looking downfield, and hustling over to recover the fumble is Mike Green. So Dan Faust. This is a rare luxury this evening to have the ball when he is not in the shadow of his own goal post. They're at the 34-yard line of the Raiders. Faust also has a lot of time, and he gets to Kellen Winslow. First down, Chargers at the 22-yard line of the Raiders. James Davis made the stop.
Well, Fouts has a lot of confidence in Kellen Winslow, of course. You know he's been hurt with the knee problem, but he's been working the last several weeks, usually against the San Diego Charger defense, and doing a good job. And he has a great deal of confidence in Dan Fouts. So look for Kellen to get open a couple of more times before this game's over.
1 year ago, almost to the day, when Kellen Winslow went down with a severe knee injury against these very same Raiders. He came back last week. Buford McGee, and the lateral to the outside.
Yeah.
The lateral to Gary Anderson from Buford McGee. A flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
I got news for you. That was a design play because Gary Anderson kept his position to Buford McGee during the whole run.
It was illegally forward. It looked like it was a lateral. He was beyond the line of scrimmage. It had to be a lateral pass. And they'll bring it back. But there's no question, they ran that play early in the first half. They did not get to the lateral part of it. Let's look at it again. Here's Buford McGee. He crosses the line of scrimmage. Consequently, this has to be lateral. And he put it forward.
Offense, Washington down is 5 yards. Second down.
And that also, as Joe has touched on several times this season, that carries with it a real severe penalty because you also lose the down. And there is a Raider down on the sideline that is slow in getting up. Being looked at now by the medical team of the Raiders. Do not know who it is, so we will not try to identify. Lester Hayes, number 37, over there looking on. Otis McKinney, who was cut earlier by these Raiders and brought back to the active roster a few days ago. And it was Mike Davis, the strong safety, who was on the tackle of Gary Anderson at the goal line, who was slow getting up. We'll try to get a full report on the condition of Mike Davis, one of the unsung members of that secondary, but he looks as though he is all right. In any event, a Charger touchdown is nullified. They still trail The Los Angeles Raiders 24-7. Opening moments of the second half from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves. Take a look at our scoring throughout the game. The Raiders got on top 10-0 really quickly, and then Anderson caught a 52-yard touchdown pass from Fouts. Gary Anderson, the running back, flanked out, working against Barnes, the linebacker. Second quarter action, Allen got a couple. His 50 and 51st career touchdowns. The Raiders have dominated overwhelmingly on defense. Second and 11. Fouts has the time, and the man's open. Chandler comes down with the ball inside the 10, near the 8-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go, a 12-yard pickup. That time, Chandler was open, and Fouts had the time. That was the key. Joyner on one side, Chandler at the far side of the screen. Chandler comes in motion, turns it upfield, and then breaks it to the flat. But more importantly, on your left side, you see that Fouts does not have that pressure. When you have the time, you know he's going to deliver it.
Oh, he'll deliver it. This offensive line needs to give him some time, and they'll get some points.
First down, goal to go. Gary Anderson. Hard running down close to the 3-yard line. Gain of 5. Give him 6. It'll be second down, goal to go.
You know, in that last, by the way, the lateral call, the infraction, a lot of people may not understand, but that penalty is marched off from where the infraction actually occurs. It was second down and 11 because the man had a 6-yard or 4-yard gain, and so they marched it off from where he actually lateraled the ball to make it second and 11.
Chargers trying to get back into this game. Second down, goal to go. Anderson, the single setback, and they work him to the left. We told you about him throughout the first half. He is one fine running football player. Not big. He's 190 pounds, but he plays big.
Did an excellent job on the last 2 runs. Those plays were designed to go out a little further, and he cut both of them back and picked his way in real well. As you can see, look at how he long scoot over. The Raiders knew the play was going that way, and they were slanting that way, and he does a good job instead of staying with the guard, makes a man miss, and powers his way into the end zone.
Stepped over Rod Martin, used every ounce he had, pounds it in. Bob Thomas on for the conversion. The Chargers have opened the scoring here in the second half. And now, Chargers down by 10. Keep in mind, these games in the series have all been high scorers. When you play the San Diego Chargers, you like to have your secondary fairly healthy because you know they're going to get a lot of balls in their direction. Mike Davis is out with a bruised hip. We don't know whether he'll come back. There he is. You saw him go out a few moments ago. More importantly, perhaps the free safety, Van McElroy, has a hamstring pull, and we are told he will not be back. So Otis McKinney, we suspect we'll see some action. Stacy Turan will be in there. San Diego kicks away. Good kick by Bob Thomas. Holds Sam C on the end zone, and the Raiders will have the ball back at the 20-yard line. Monday night, a week from tonight, we'll be in St. Louis. And they'd like to congratulate not only the Kansas City Royals, they were spectacular in coming back, both in the playoff series and, of course, in the World Series, but also the St. Louis Cardinals. It didn't work out for them, but they got there. So our congratulations to them. But we'll be in the city with the Golden Arch. A week from tonight, watch the Dallas Cowboys and the Cardinals go at it. And it might be Custer's last stand for the Cardinals, who have really been trouble over the past few weeks. They were a team picked by many to win the Eastern Division of the NFC. And now they need to win just to stay in the race. First and 10, Mark Wilson back. Marcus Allen gets the first down at the 31-yard line. Busy night for Marcus Allen, but it's been a busy season ever since Jim Plunkett went down. They have relied so much more on this great football player, playing a very conservative offense, using Marcus Allen in the running game, also as a pass receiver. He can take a 5-yard pass and turn it into a bunch very quickly. Allen, the draw play to the 35-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4. It'll be second down at 6. Mike Green made the stop. Chargers have brought it to within 10.
I believe the Raiders realize they're going to have to do something on offense now, because with their weaknesses down the middle on defense, with both of their safeties out, and playing against a team that loves to throw the ball to their tight ends, the Raiders are going to have to put more points on the board if they're going to win.
Cliff Brandt, the veteran, activated this week to split wide receiver to the left of the Raiders. Mark Wilson puts it up to Dokie Williams, and the Raiders get the big one inside the 30 of the Chargers. Well thrown ball. Dokie Williams got behind John Hendy, the rookie out of Long Beach State. Wilson got it there. Had he put it on stride, it would have been 6.
Dokie's been a big play receiver all his life, really. At UCLA, his senior year, he only caught 8 passes, but 4 of those were for touchdowns. His career marks coming into this game was 36 receptions, but 7 of those were touchdowns.
That's not the easiest ball to catch. Dokie Williams with a good move. Instead of turning around and losing the ball, he stayed with it and gave up the possible touchdown, but he made the catch and got the first down inside the 30.
Well, you know, Frank, that last play, Jeff Dale, who was the safety also that time, should have been yelling at John to turn around and look for the ball. He was down there. It's like a man catching a ball on a punt or a kickoff. You help him. John Hendy didn't get any help that time on where the ball was from his teammate, Jeff Dale. Jeff should have been yelling at him.
Billy Ray Smith made the stop on Marcus Allen, a loss of a couple. San Diego Chargers now in their 4th week under new defensive coordinator Dave Adolph, who replaced Tom Bass after the 3rd game of the season. They have been playing much better defense. 2nd down and 12. Pick off. Bradley. Carlos Bradley covers it up as Marcus Allen tried to pull it out. And now the Chargers get another turnover. And they have relatively good field position considering what they have been dealing with all night long. Up until the second half, they are out over their own 35-yard line.
Todd Christensen just got held, beat up, everything this last play. And Mark Wilson still tried to get the ball out there to Todd. Behind him, and there's Todd you see turning in. It was either a bad throw to Marcus. Well, it was a bad throw any way you look at it.
Chargers with a new spark of life. They're down by 10. 10 points to the Chargers. If they can protect their quarterback, is nothing. But you have to give him time to get rid of it. Again, the pressure that we saw that was prevailing throughout the entire first half was once again in Fouts' face in the form of Bill Pickell.
Well, they're supposed to have the shotgun offense, and I don't understand why they're not using the shotgun at this point or even earlier in the game.
That's Bill Pickell's wife on the left. That's Carol. And that's Howie Long's wife, Diane, on the right. Enjoying football on a beautiful night here at the Coliseum. 2nd down and 10. Flag is down as Anderson gives you another look at that tremendous acceleration he has up to the 45-yard line. But again, that flag is down in an area that usually will bring up the holding call, a illegal motion call, something working against the offense.
The way Anderson is beginning to run this ball, and because of those safeties of the Raiders out of there, I think the Raiders are going to need a lot of flags.
Illegal motion, offense, left side of the line, moved before the snap. Still 2nd down.
Left side of the line move. That means the officials really don't know which one moved.
Or they moved in total concert. They are together.
I noticed, despite that bruised hip that Mike Davis was reported to have, he's back out there.
5 down remains the same as 2nd down and 5. Fouts under pressure again.
Speaking of Mike
that
Davis.
was Mike Davis who collided with Kellen Winslow. And very slow getting up now is James Davis, who is in there as a nickelback for the Raiders. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
This is an awesome hit by Mike Davis. Mike Davis really had an opportunity to sit back, watch the play develop, and then sneak up on Winslow. Here. Oh, hello. Welcome back, Kellen.
But the great part of it, he bounces right up. 3rd and 15. Fouts just desperately puts one high in the general area of Tremaine Johnson, who was working against Lester Hayes. And again, Fouts is down. He's only been sacked 5 times. What do you mean only? He's been sacked 5 times. but he has been hit so many other times just as he's delivered the ball. Fourth down. The Chargers unable to do anything with the turnover. They brought out Mojinko, who had a tough first half. Very inconsistent with the punt. Colton Walker is back about the 23-yard line. Another poor kick, a low kick to Walker, fields at the 38. And brings all the way back to the 44-yard line. That time, a punt by Mojinko of 36 yards. And the Raiders have good field position once again. The Raiderettes performing here in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Crowd of over 70,000 on hand.
Well, we got two Raiders married, former Raiderettes, Lester Hayes and Mickey Marvin.
First and 10 for the Raiders from their own 44-yard line. Mark Wilson looks downfield. Nothing happening there. Goes out to Marcus Allen. Gil Byrd is all over Marcus Allen, but Allen will get 3 yards out of it. Give him 4. It'll be second down and 6 as they mark it up near the 48-yard line. There's Gil Byrd. Started out at the corner. Secondary troubled early part of the year, not only with injuries, but just with inexperience. Jeff Dale is a rookie starting at the free safety. Hendy is a rookie over on the left side. They move Gil Byrd to that very important strong safety position. Second down and 6. Marcus Allen. And he'll have another Raider first down to the 42-yard line of the Chargers.
Well, the last time Notre Dame beat up on my USC team like that was back in 1966, and we went about 10 years before they won again.
Memories, OJ. We're talking last Saturday, and they thumped them. On first and 10, Marcus Allen finds Todd Christensen, who somehow can always get open. He works behind those linebackers in front of the safety men, moves around, very heady player. And that will be another Raider first down at the 29-yard line. Derek Jensen comes in, number 31, to join Marcus Allen in the backfield for the Raiders. Wilson now out over 200 yards on 11 completions of 22 attempts. Marcus Allen, right side, behind Henry Lawrence and Mickey Marvin. And the big men just surge forward to give Allen 3. Henry Lawrence over their right side is really the only healthy lineman the Raiders have had all year long.
Obviously, the Raiders' game plan is to run the ball off tackle against this Charger defense. I would love to see them on first down run a play-action pass once, because Billy Ray Smith is really reacting to the run on first down.
Keep that offensive unit off the field. As well as they've dominated it, they know it can explode at any minute. They'd like to maintain ball control. Wide open is Hawkins. And Hawkins falls to the 6-yard line. First down, Raiders. And 2 Raiders were open. Marcus Allen was also wide open. There had to be a secondary mistake. From the ground, you'll see Marcus Allen circle right in front of you, along with Hawkins. They were both there. And Hawkins just puts the head down, sniffs the goal line, tripped up, and gets to the 6-yard line. Pair of tight ends come in. Raiders have a first down goal to go. Marcus Allen took kind of a hesitant step. Delayed even more from the 8 yards, but he lines up on that play. And he was hit by Billy Ray Smith, first-round draft pick and the son of a great All-Pro with Baltimore.
And Billy Ray Smith Sr. happened to break my wrist one day in Shea Stadium. A good hit by Junior there and a fine linebacker. Well, he took the blocking on. That's what he did.
Well, somebody has to do the dirty work.
That's right.
What we need is the refresh. Get Billy Ray's attention. Second down, goal to go. Allen hit really hard by Hendy. Bounces off into the end zone. Third touchdown of the night for Marcus Allen. Somebody must have missed their flight to Chicago. Had a Bear fan in the midst of all these Raider fans. Oh, you have to congratulate those Bears, too. Only team remaining this clean in the NFL. 8-0. Far for the conversion. And the Raiders move it out to a 31-14 lead. Allen's third touchdown of the night. On a 33-30 victory by the Chargers. The Raiders over the Chargers. Marcus Allen scored 4 touchdowns. He already has 3 tonight. He also has his 51st, 51st, and 52nd, 53rd touchdown for the night. Not bad, young as he is. Lionel James will bring it out. And James out close to the 30-yard line, and a late flag goes down. 29-yard return, and let's take a look at Marcus again.
Well, as we said on his last touchdown, you always think of Marcus Allen as being an elusive runner, but he's also one of your stronger and tougher runners in the league. He was tagged there, but he still has the leg strength and drive to dive for that end zone.
And nothing is working.
Holding number 27, receiving team, first down.
Nothing working for the Chargers tonight. A good return by James was nullified by a holding penalty, and they'll move it back inside the 20-yard line. And there is the youngster, Ronnie O'Bard, first-round player out of Brigham Young. Fires over the middle to Kellen Winslow, and Winslow gets 8 yards out to close to the 28-yard line. Put there by Rod Martin.
And a host of others.
Well, Moran was there. James Davis was there. That's the Raiders' way of playing this game.
And you know,
they're all over you.
And San Diego's way of playing is, well, they really don't need to change their style now. They're a passing team. They just need better pass protection to get going.
There's a gain of 8. It's second down and 2. Bounce got out of trouble. Gets the ball underneath. Got it into Holohan, but he was not able to hold on to it. That'll be third down and 2. We know what that means for the Chargers. Earlier tonight, third down and 1, they put it up in the air. And Fouts looking over, picking up the play. Ernie Zampese calls that play down from up high overhead here in the press box. Flashed into Dan Fouts. Job, of course, to coordinate the personnel with the play because the Chargers are constantly changing personnel. Buford McGee, this time he gets the ball to Anderson. Flag goes down late as Anderson turns on the speed. Flag is down. And it's all the way back to the 36-yard line, and most of the Raiders are indicating that it is against San Diego. Holding. That was a 41-yard pickup. And a well-designed play.
It is. It's simply an option play.
67, offense, still third down.
But basically without the quarterback being involved.
And so far, with that play, they received 15 yards of penalties, and they're 0 for 2.
Boy, there is a leader, though, Dan Fouts. Come on, guys, let's get it together. We just blew a 41-yard play, but come on, let's go. Let's get it back here. Saw a piece at halftime. He likes that role that he plays, and he is definitely the leader of this ball club. Whether or not they're on totally the right track, it's hard to say. When you get a Gary Anderson come in, and the first thing you do is try to make a receiver out of him, you realize the total commitment to offensive passing by the Chargers. You also realize that they lost 8 of 11 games over the past 2 years when Dan Fouts was unable to play. On 3rd and 4. Kellen Winslow will have the first down at the 33-yard line. In the arms of Mike Davis, who, along with Jeff Barnes, was in on that tackle a year ago that put Kellen Winslow out of the game for a year, and many were concerned, with desperate concern, over whether he would ever play this game again. Came back last week in the game against Minnesota after almost a year's absence. Had a couple of receptions. He's had 3 receptions tonight. On first down, Chargers. Anderson. Good running again by Anderson to get something out of that. He'll make 3 over the 35 to the 36.
You know, I can't help but think of the work that Kellen Winslow had to put in to come back from that knee injury. Having had a knee injury or two, I can understand it a little bit, but being a quarterback, I really never had to get full momentum back, full strength. And for a man that plays a position like Kellen Winslow plays, he's had to do a lot of work.
Second down and 6. Fouts is able to get it off, but again, he gets whacked just as he delivers the ball. It's been a long, weary night for Dan Fouts. He's been throwing between Raiders. He's been bouncing it off their helmets. They've been in his face all night.
Exactly, in his face all night. And I don't understand why the offensive line of the Chargers really, they should take on the defenders right now at the line of scrimmage instead of backing off 2 yards. By backing off, they're giving Howie Long and Paquel and Alzado room to run, and they're going back into Fouts' space.
There had ever been any concern about the condition of Dan Fouts' knee into tonight. He missed a couple of games, came back only last week. Well, I think everyone can rest assured he's fairly healthy. He's been sacked 5 times tonight. 3rd and long for Fouts. Gets it to Winslow, and down goes Winslow in the arms of Jeff Barnes, the man who put the hit on him a year ago. Fair tackle, just had the cleats planted, and the ligaments went. There was a total reconstruct on the knee of Kellen Winslow, and obviously a successful one. But at the time, October against the Raiders a year ago, Winslow went out of the game. He had 41 receptions and was heading for another tremendous year. He had 88 receptions in 83.
You know, you wonder why they only throw a 4-yard pattern that time when they needed 6 or 7 yards. It was a good play by Jeff Barnes. He wouldn't let Winslow get deep.
Mojenko has put the thrill in the punt for the Chargers. He has really been erratic tonight. That time, a very short punt that takes a Raider bounce, and the Raiders will get the ball back at the 31-yard line. That time, a punt of 25 yards. To light the torch that symbolizes the opening of the Summer Olympic Games. So many memories. OJ, you worked the track and field here. Great moments.
And one of the biggest thrills was if Raper would make it up all those steps.
He did. He had a pulled muscle from the rehearsal the night before, but he made it. First down and 10. 35-yard line. Raiders in command. Marcus Allen swings around the right side. 3, 4 yards. As we begin the 4th quarter. In just a few moments, seconds ticking off here in the 3rd period. Chargers with a final quarter. And it would seem almost futile because they have had such a tough time with that Raider defense. Their own defense, considering its youth, its inexperience, change of defensive coordinator, has performed rather well tonight. Second down and 6. Todd Christensen, a Raider first down near the 48-yard line.
Todd just keeps getting the job done. It was in 1982, a Monday night game, that Todd really sort of became a star. He was replacing Derek Ramsey at tight end for the Raiders, and it appeared as if Ramsey was coming back. He was healthy that game, but Todd caught a touchdown pass right before the half. He ended up catching 8 passes in the game, and he's been a star and a starter ever since.
And the Raiders came back in that game from a 24-point deficit at halftime. We'll be back after this from our station. We begin the 4th quarter with the Raiders overwhelming the San Diego Chargers, 31-14. Todd Christensen, a part of the act tonight, along with a great defensive effort by his team. There's Christensen, his over 100 yards and 5 receptions tonight, the 7th time in a relatively young career, because he was cut by the Cowboys and cut by the Giants, arrived here, didn't do much his first year in 81. But in 1982, as O.J. just touched on a moment ago, he became a true superstar. First down and 10. The Raiders from their own 49-yard line. Mark Wilson fires. And the completion is inside the 40-yard line of the Chargers, and it's Todd Christensen once again. A great possession receiver, Todd Christensen. Watch him come down, very cerebral about defenses. He comes down, he'll look, spot the linebacker, and he gives Mark Wilson a shot, an opening right away. Moving away from Bird, inside Lyndon King, a Raider first down. A thinking man's tight end. Marcus Allen. Big opening for Allen, and he just explodes to the 22-yard line on an 18-yard pickup.
Take a look at this. They've been running off tackle most of the time, and this play is designed to go inside, and what Marcus did, well, they did a good job of blocking, and Marcus went inside of two nice blocks inside, one on Billy Ray Smith.
Yeah, Mickey Marvin did a heck of a job on Billy Ray. 27 carries, 102 yards for Marcus Allen, 3 touchdowns. Just a routine night at the office. And it is almost routine for Marcus Allen. Gets a little breather as they hand off to Frank Hawkins, and he works the defensive unit down to the 17-yard line, a gain of 5 before he's dropped by Earl Wilson, a rookie from Kentucky, and Lee Williams over on the left side for the Chargers.
The thing about Marcus, much like Walter Payton, many of his yards come on what we call working yards. 5-yard runs, 8-yard runs when he's hit a lot. You get a guy like an Eric Dickerson who he'll get the majority of his yards rather in a game on 1 or 2 runs. He may carry the ball 20 times, and 2 runs may be 100 yards.
They've marked it close to the 18, not the 17, so it'll be second down and 6. Mark Wilson tried to get it into the end zone, intended for Jesse Hester, or at least I think it was. A couple of Raiders in front of it. That ball was thrown well beyond the reach of Hester. Take a look at the halftime stats. The total offense of the Chargers at halftime, 110 yards, and 52 of those yards came on a connection between Fouts and Gary Anderson. I stretched it out a little, but it has been a dominating Raider defense. A defense that into tonight through 7 games had not given up a 100-yard rushing game nor a 300-yard passing game. And it looks as though that defense is going to keep that record intact. Third down, 6. Wilson times it out to Dokie Williams. He bobbles it out of bounds, incomplete. John Hindy back there, the rookie from Long Beach State, was trying to stay with Williams, and had Mark Wilson put that up a little more into the corner of the end zone, that would have been a quick 6. Because he was behind John Hindy.
Well, it's because of this great Raider defense that they've gone to a different philosophy on offense. They're very conservative now, and what they're trying to do is not self-destruct like they did earlier in the year when they were turning the ball over.
Chris Barr, 35-yard attempt. He's hit from 20 yards out. He missed from 50 yards. Good kick. And the Raiders stretch it even more. They take a 34-14 lead, 12:45 remaining in the game. Herman, who started the last 3 games for the San Diego Chargers when Dan Fouts was gimpy with the bad knee. Former Indianapolis Colt player who was drafted originally by Denver and then got swapped to the Colts for the John Elway deal. Chris Barr pops it, and Lionel James will bring it out. And James works it out to the 25-yard line before he's hammered there out of bounds by Andy Parker.
From the goal line.
So the Chargers now have 12:35 remaining in the football game in their season. I think you have to consider a little bit in jeopardy. Very strong Western Division of the AFC. Denver has a 6-2 record. The Raiders will be 6-2 after tonight. Seattle had a couple of tough weeks, but you know they're going to be there. They're 4-4. First down and 10. Fouts with a beautiful pass, finding Wes Chandler. Close to first down yardage. Yes, he'll get it. That time, Wes Chandler working against one of the best in this game, Mike Haynes, as Fouts comes back and challenges Mike Haynes really early in the first quarter. He went with that same pattern, and Mike Haynes stepped in front and picked it off.
Yeah, well, he knows now with this kind of lead, he's just not going to let any of the Chargers get deep, so he'll give up that out pattern.
First and 10 Chargers at their own 35-yard line. And Howie Long just pushed the man blocking him, Sam Clapper, right into the face once again of Dan Fouts. You saw that funny motion as Fouts tried to get the ball off. He couldn't throw it with his ordinary motion because Howie Long has straightened up his man. He didn't get the sack. It's not going to be a statistic, but he is such a force defensively for the Raiders. Great football player. Could get a lot of arguments that he might be the best going today. On 2nd and 10, it's out. Tripped. He could have been stepped on as he pulled away from the center, but down he goes, and the loss will be back to the 30-yard line. Fouts might have been stepped on by the center or the guard as he pulled away. He goes down, and the loss is of 5 yards.
That may be the best argument for your shotgun, Joe.
Hey, every training camp with the New York Jets, I would lose both of my big toenails. John Schmidt would step on my feet, I promise you, the first month and a half of the season, time in and time again.
Third down 15. Everyone's coming. They're picked up. Fouts around single coverage. Does get it off. He takes a tremendous shot in the back. The safety blitz is on. And Dan Fouts is going to need a lot of tub time the rest of the week. Let's take a look at it again. He had single coverage. The blitz was on. It was relatively well picked up, considering what's happened throughout the game tonight. Has a little bit of time. Takes a tremendous shot from Mike Davis, the blitzing safety man, and works his way in a weary fashion off to the sidelines. Moshenko on to punt again. End over end, low. Fulton Walker will take it at the 28-yard line. And he's turned upside down at the 35 to the 37. That time, Moshenko, a punt of 43 yards, but not much height on it. And the kind that really scares you. The kind you can really bring back. And we'll be back in a moment. In his 8th year at San Diego, 13th in the NFL. He was 5 years at St. Louis, won 3 divisional titles there. He won 3 divisions at San Diego in 79, 80, and 81, and then fell a little bit on hard times. He got to the playoffs in the season of 82, the strike-shortened season, with a 6-3 record. But over the last 2 years has really been tough. 7 and 9 a year ago, 6 and 10 and 83. He's under pressure to at least come up with a 500 season, I would suspect. As we look at Marcus Allen, who's having a big night, he goes for 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. But there have been changes that have taken place early in the year for the Chargers. Word is that Alex Spanos, the new owner as of a year ago last August, was very involved in the change of the defensive coordinator, Tom Bass. Bass being replaced by Dave Adolph. And the defense has picked up somewhat over the past 4 weeks. But the Chargers are going to go to 3 and 5 tonight on the AFC West. That could be a lot of trouble. Allen out to the 45-yard line, short of the first down by a couple.
Well, I can tell you what's on Marcus's mind right now. In the play previous to this one, he could have gotten 3 or 4 more yards, but he was thinking about breaking them. Last year, in the last game of the season, Marcus could have led the AFC in rushing, but Ernest Jackson ended up beating him out by 11 yards. It was a game that the Raiders were playing against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was doing a tattoo job on the Raiders, and Marcus didn't get to carry the ball in the 4th quarter. You don't come that close to getting a rushing title without having it work on your mind all offseason, and right now he just wants the ball.
In case you're not aware, Ernest Jackson was with these Chargers a year ago. He's now with the Philadelphia Eagles, and you had a good look at the flaky veteran face of Lyle Alzado, who still can play this game, as can Todd Christensen, who does it so well from the tight end to the 41-yard line for yet another Raider first down. He works that deep turn in, Joe, as good as any tight end I've seen in a long time.
Oh, he has Gil Bird talking to himself. Gil had really good coverage, but Mark threw the ball to the inside. The only place he could get it to Todd for a completion, and it was a good catch again.
Mark Wilson having the biggest night of his season thus far. 15 of 28. 256 yards. Has the one interception. The first down is at the Chargers 41. Frank Hawkins. Nothing happening on the left side, but he does work for about 2. It'll be second down and 8. San Diego, as you look at Mark Herman, I suspect we'll see him on the next series. They have a tough schedule coming their way. Next Sunday, they'll be home in San Diego to take on the Denver Broncos, who will be tied with the Raiders for the lead in the AFC Western Division. And then they have the Raiders again back home. Then right away, they turn around and go against Denver. We're going to see them in 6 weeks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, the Raiders this Sunday will be up at Seattle. We'll see them the final game of the season against the Rams. Second down and 8. Mark Wilson. Picked off. Lyndon King steps in front of the intended receiver. Dokie Williams gets the turnover for the Chargers.
That's really a poor pass. It was excellent coverage. You just threw it right to the defender. With this kind of lead at this stage of the game, it's the kind of pass you certainly don't want to throw. Well, you don't want to throw this anytime. But the coverage is there. Look, what? Right there. Boom.
Lyndon was a lot more open than Dokie Williams. Go to the open man. 8:43 now remaining in the game. And Fouts stays on at quarterback, even though they were working Mark Herman on the sideline. Fouts this time with a lot of time, and he still has to throw underneath. And there's Kellen Winslow, running and twisting and turning like the Kellen Winslow of old. And he's to midfield with the Charger first down, a gain of 16. That's an example of what we talked about earlier. All of the receivers for the Chargers are all alive. Fouts looked down, checked off 2. He knew exactly where Winslow would be. And he got it to him. He had the time to do it. And he'll do it if you give him time. Ben Ross makes the catch and another Charger first down as the Raiders are now laying off, not giving up anything big. And perhaps the defensive linemen, who have been fairly well running free tonight, they might be getting a little tired. Pressure seems to have let up a little bit on Dan Fouts. And Ben Ross, number 86, is in there, wide receiver now for the Chargers. First down, quick count. Fouts dances, looks for the alternate receiver, finds him at the 22-yard line. It's Ben Ross again, and another first down. And they move the chains one more time. 8:04 remaining in the game. Chargers down by 20, 34-14. The man is the leader, though, Joe. He stays in there, hangs in there, getting his Chargers all together.
He's a brilliant player, but he needs help. You know, the offensive line has to get protection. Any quarterback needs good protection to be successful.
Stops once again. Joyner. Close to a first down. How many? Great player for so many years. In his 17th year, every time he catches one, he expands on his all-time numbers for the leading receiver in the history of this game. The remarkable thing is he's played in 172 consecutive games. Second and real short. Fouts used it, looking for 6 points to Wes Chandler, incomplete as he was covered well by Lester Hayes, really well. Don Coryell would have liked to have seen a flag on that. Yeah. Number 37, Lester Hayes. Chandler gives it a look like he's going to bring it inside. Lester Hayes is buying nothing of that, and they could have called him again if they wanted to. I think they've called him 3 times tonight for something, and the official right on it with maybe his back to it.
The official was watching the ball. He was watching the ball fly through the air.
Well, it was thrilling at the moment. Third down and 1. Dan Fouts still could get it into the end zone. He still has a force to pick up the first down. That's what he'll try and do. Good defensive play by Sam Seal against Wes Chandler. Oh, football can do a lot to one's mind, can it?
Well, Joe, with time running out, you're down to 7.5 minutes. You need you need 3 scores at least to win. Do you run for the first down, or do you throw a pass to the end zone, and if it's not open, throw for the first?
Right now, you spread everyone out and run a quarterback sneak. That's right. I'd spread them out and run a quarterback sneak.
Quarterback draw.
Fourth down, less than a yard.
Sneak it.
Gary Anderson. And the Raiders get it back. The defensive line, the defense has dominated these Chargers all night. That's Bill Pickell on that move. Bill Pickell, Howie Long. They have been right in Dan Fouts' face all night. They have been in the backfield almost as quickly as Fouts could get back there. They almost beat Fouts back to Gary Anderson.
They had no chance.
I wouldn't run a sweep in this game, I'll tell you that.
I thought they'd throw, and if a guy's open in the end zone, hit him and hit one of his outlet men if the guy in the end zone wasn't open.
Dan Fouts, 18 of 38, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and about 80% body bruise tonight.
Strangely enough, that was the only drive all night that he was protected competently all the way down the field.
For Marcus Allen, big night, 29 carries, 109 yards, another 100-yard night for Marcus Allen, 3 touchdowns. Raiders with the first and 10. The ball at their own 17-yard line. That's Derek Jensen. Tries to get something happening over on the left side, gets a couple out of it. It'll be 2nd down and 8. A reminder, this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Also a reminder, next Monday night we'll be in St. Louis. The Dallas Cowboys will also be there. The St. Louis Cardinals will attempt to get back in that Eastern Division race of the NFC. Led right now by the Dallas Cowboys. Win over Atlanta yesterday. They are 6-2. The Giants are right behind that at 5-3. Marcus Allen works for a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Tonight on Nightline, well, he's attracted the Army, the Navy, a flotilla of scientists. I tell you, I frankly am worried myself about old Humphrey. But Humphrey, the humpback whale, still can't find his way home. I understand he's working his way out, though. Getting a lot of support by the people up in the Northern California area. We're going to cover that story for you tonight on Nightline following your late local news. The continuing saga of Humphrey, the humpback whale. I hope he makes it. We'll be back in a moment. At the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Crowd of over 69,000 on hand tonight, and they've enjoyed superb defensive play on the part of the Raiders. Good showing by Mark Wilson, and another great night for Marcus Allen. 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders. That ball bounces right back in the face of Mark Wilson as it's deflected away. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Chargers will get it back in fairly good field position, providing everything goes as they would like. They'll bring out a fun little man. All 5'6" and 170 pounds of Lionel Little Train James drops for the Chargers. There he is. Powerful running back.
I tell you, he's had a good career up to now and it's excellent season. You know, you think about USC when you think about tailbacks, but if you take a good look at Auburn, of course, Lionel James, his senior year blocked for Bo Jackson, and you think of guys like Joe Cribbs and William Andrews and the late Joe Delaney. Auburn is doing a heck of a job of sending great runners into the NFL.
Brooks, too. That was Joe Brooks.
Yes, that's right.
Don Coryell, he'll never give up. He's out there shouting instructions to his special teams unit. Ray Guy comes on for only his 2nd punt of the night. Ray Guy had led the league with 18 out of bounds inside the 20. Don Coryell, I believe, is shouting to the official, Dick Jurgensen, our referee, that timeout was not called. They'll get this worked out on the sideline. That's what we understand Don Coryell is bitterly complaining about, that his team did not call timeout.
I don't know why they would after an incompleted pass. The clock stopped anyway.
Well, it's hard to believe that the referee, Dick Jorgensen, would make it up. Somebody must have put it into his head. go bad, things also get a little disorganized.
Well, all right. Who called timeout? Did they decide who called timeout here?
Who took the strawberries? Roll those marbles. Captain Quigg. This game will make you that way, too. That'll be a little nuts to get into it. You go start raving crazy in about 2 years. A lot of times they lock you up in about 5. Great guy, having a great year. Good net at 38.2, averaging over 42 yards a punt. And he has those good hands that can save a bad snap. James decided not to go with the fair catch at the 45-yard line. He paid for that decision as he was pounced upon by Otis McKinney, a fine special teams member of these Raiders who was cut earlier in the year and showed up in Kansas City for a brief tour of duty. We saw him there. We saw the Raiders lose there early in the year. And now the Raiders have him back.
Well, when you go down to 45 men from 49, you don't have the luxury to keep great special team people like Otis McKinney. The Raiders are glad to have him back.
On first down. Van Pelt gets things underway quickly and tries to get it to James. And James with a wild collision there with Stacy Turan. Second-year man out of Notre Dame is turning into a fine defensive back. Had a 76-yard touchdown interception early in the year against New England. He's pretty much all over that field. Let's pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WTSP Channel 10, St. Petersburg, Tampa.
The LA Coliseum, the Raiders totally dominating the San Diego Chargers. They lead 34-14, 6:20 remaining and the clock is moving. Van Pelt. Just a little bit of a time, and he squeezes one off to Charlie Joyner, and Joyner comes down with the ball at the 40-yard line. First down, San Diego. Sam Seal was there defensively. Charlie Joyner came into the night 683 career receptions. He now has 685, and Pelt looking for Joyner again. Now he has a lot of time. Tries to get Chandler back into the pattern. It's incomplete.
You know, this is a time in the game when statistics really can be deceiving. The Raiders have done a good job this season, pass defense-wise and against the run. Now they're loosening up and they're giving up yardage that they normally wouldn't give up. But later on, they're going to say, well, the Raiders aren't that good on pass defense, right?
Yeah, well, you know, they got guys like Howie Long taking a rest on the sideline right now. And if this game was in jeopardy, of course, he'd be in the game.
Raiders have not given up with their defensive unit a 300-yard game to a passer. I'm sure they'd like to hold the Chargers under that, particularly Dan Pelt. There was contact made there. The flag comes down, albeit late. And the flag goes down against Sam Seal. And that'll be a first down, keeping this drive alive for the Chargers.
Well, I'm happy for the Chargers, but that's one of the times you can call it almost incidental contact because Charlie Joyner had given up on the pass.
Don Coryell loves to win, loves this game.
Well, that's what they may be doing.
And they will mark it against Sam Seal. Now, flag is lifted. You touched on it, O.J. The ball is not catchable. And they'll bring it back. Well, obviously somebody is not happy with that decision. Let's take a look at it again. Joyner is the receiver. Sam Seal, 43. Incidental contact, I guess. The ball not even in the area. I think it's a good call. Because I think Sam Seal also had no intention of colliding with Charlie Joyner. So it's third down and 10. Stop. Clips one off. And a pair of Raiders collide. Sam Seal, number 43, hits Mike Davis. Davis has been down once before tonight with a severely bruised hip. Bouts again, hit after he delivered the ball. But the concern for the moment is for Mike Davis, the strong safety, who went out of this game earlier with a bruised hip. He was hit in full stride by Sam Seal as they both were playing that ball.
Well, Mike had the ball. Now Mike he understands how some of these offensive receivers feel that he's hit over the years.
We'll see Fouts go down. Blitzing linebacker Jack Squirick nails Fouts. Now watch Seal and Davis both playing the ball. a full sprint. Mike Davis, eyes only for the ball, is hit by Sam Seal, number 43, and they continue to work on Davis. The game is one of a series of violent collisions.
Yeah. Mike is one of the more underrated, I guess you can say, strong safeties in this game. He's the only member of this Raider secondary who didn't go to the Pro Bowl last year. Of course, he's best remembered for that playoff game interception. Brian Sight, they're on the goal line down there in Cleveland. All Brian had to do is hold on to the ball, kick a field goal, they win the game.
We continue to talk to Mike Davis. They're not looking at his legs or his ankles. So one would suspect that he either has the wind knocked out of him, and I don't think that's the case. He might have a minor concussion. We will not speculate. We'll try to get a definitive word from the sidelines. Mike Davis up on his feet. He might not be quite sure which stadium he's in, but he's up and he does appear to be all right. You concentrate on that football, and good players totally concentrate on it, whether the defensive backs or receivers. And some of those collisions are made so off balance. We'll try to get, as I said, the definitive word from the sideline as to the condition of Mike Davis. And now we have 5:39 remaining in the game. In total command on the Los Angeles Raiders over the San Diego Chargers, 34-14. Fourth down, San Diego. The ball at the 39-yard line of the Raiders. Fouts again with a Raider right on his face. Tried to get the ball out. Tried to get it to Holohan. Greg Townsend was pressuring Fouts. He held it as long as he could. And it's going to be a very tough day for Dan Fouts tomorrow. The Raiders get it back. And they have also moved into a tie with Denver in the AFC Western Division. Raiders will have now won 5 straight. Mark Wilson will have won his 5th consecutive start. And we also understand that Marcus Allen will not be coming back. A bruised shoulder. On first down, this is Kenny King. He gets a yard on a heavy hit. It'll be second down and 9. Mike Davis will go into the locker room, and before the game is over, we'll try and get, as I mentioned earlier, word as to his condition. He does appear to be all right. I mentioned earlier this Sunday, as we look at Marcus Allen, he too appears to be all right, although the shoulder pads are gone. He's smiling. I understand he has a bruised shoulder, but the Raiders will be moving into the Kingdome up in Seattle to meet Seattle, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs a year ago. Seattle 4-4 on the season. They've fallen on some hard times. On second and 9, this is Derek Jensen. He spins and twists, gets nowhere to the line of scrimmage. Danny Walters initially there to make the stop for the Chargers. It'll be third down and 9. Todd Christensen gesturing to the sidelines. And I think we're going to have timeout called. And called by the Chargers, and that is their final timeout. They stop the clock with 4:37 remaining, and as tough as things have been going for San Diego into the night, 3-4, they'll go 3-5, and they'll drop down with Kansas City at the bottom of the AFC Western Division. But if they thought it was tough tonight, it's going to get worse, because Sunday they'll be home for the Denver Broncos. Dan Fouts will need a lot of hot tubs between now and then. Then they play the Raiders in 2 weeks, and then they go against Denver the following week. So it's the Raiders tonight, it's Denver, then the Raiders, and then Denver once again. Let's take a look at the standings as they begin to take shape midway now through the football season. One of the things the Chargers were talking about, Dan Fouts specifically said a 10-6 might make it into the playoffs. That was going to be tough to get in there as a wild card as you look through the AFC standings. 5-3, as is New England, who's come alive. Well, we'll see how it develops throughout the season, but the Chargers will be in tough shape. 3rd down and 9 now. Mark Wilson tries to get it to Kenny King. It's incomplete, and we understand now that Mike Davis suffered a severe blow to the stomach, and they have taken him into the locker room. But as he left the field, he did appear to be all right. 4th down, and the Raiders bring out Ray Guy. Only his 3rd punt of the night. They drop Lionel James. Chargers without a timeout. And right now it boils down to, for the Chargers to work on the statistics. One of them being the all-purpose yardage this young man has put together in this season. He leads the NFL. Ball is loose, and there's a scramble at the 30-yard line. And Murphy's Law prevails once again. Or it does appear as they continue to sort things out. One indication was that the Raiders got it back. And now they say no. So the offensive unit for the Chargers comes onto the field. Let's take a look at it from the reverse angle. Lionel James. Love to use this camera. We see things you can't see from our side of the field. That ball was loose. Knocked away there by Reggie McKenzie. And there is the battle in which the Chargers win, and they have a 1st down and 10. And Dan Fouts stays in. And I think at this point I'd consider taking a 13-year veteran like Dan Fouts, letting him sit down, take a little bit of a rest. He's got to come back for those next 3 tough games. If they lose 1 or more of those after tonight, they're going to be in deep trouble. They have a youngster on the sidelines, Mark Herman, who has started the last 3 games. Granted, he's not Dan Fouts, but I would think they might be thinking about protecting the franchise in the form of Dan Fouts. He has really been beaten up tonight. 2nd and 10. I guarantee you one thing, he'll stay in there. And it's complete. It goes to Holohan, and he has a Charger 1st down at the 41-yard line.
I bet if people like Paquel and Howie Long were still in the game, Dan Fouts wouldn't be in the game right now.
It's a quick count again by Dan Fouts. Tried to get it to Chandler. He tried to one-hand it. It's incomplete. Stopping the clock at 3:47.
Big Howie. I was asking Howie, did they have any plays where he would line up in the backfield like the refrigerator? He says, I'm only 270 pounds, O.J.
Refrigerator didn't get to carry yesterday, did he?
Well, lucky me. He's after me. I know that.
He's too busy dealing with the Today Show and the Tonight Show. Good morning, America. America, all the show. Good morning. Here's Lionel James to the 40-yard line. 19-yard pickup. Again, the Chargers have no timeouts to work with.
Let's go.
And Charlie Joyner comes down with yet another reception. That's the 3rd of the night for Joyner. Up to 686 on his career. Which began, those many years ago, 17 down at Houston. Later went off to Cincinnati before coming to the Chargers 7 years ago.
Well, Joe, you were talking about statistics. These are certainly some meaningless offensive statistics that the Chargers are building up here, even though they should be doing what they're doing, trying to score.
That's Sam Seal they are looking at. Another Raider who is shaken up.
Well, if they really, I know these guys aren't giving up. You know Dan Fouts as well as I do. And Dan is in there trying to get 7 points on the board, an onside kick, another touchdown, another onside kick. 3 scores, they win the game. He's really thinking that way. That's the only way he can be thinking at this point. That's why the guys have confidence in him and believe in him.
1st and 10, San Diego. They're at the 28-yard line of the Raiders. Dan Fouts had all the time in the world. Joyner trying to get into the end zone. Does he make it? Now they'll mark it short. Mark it just short of the end zone. Clock continuing to move. Joyner's fourth reception. Dan Fouts had all the time in the world on that occasion. No pressure, as O.J. has already pointed out. Some of the bigger guns have gone to the sidelines. Howie Long, Bill McHale back in because he's in that short yardage defense for the Raiders. Yes, touchdown pass. It goes to Ben Ross. His third reception of the night. And Dan Fouts is over the 300 mark for the 43rd time of his career, and the first time the Raiders this year have given up 300 yards to a quarterback.
Well, again, it doesn't mean a thing. You know, the Raiders have dominated the game, and these statistics really, they don't mean anything now. Nice catch by Jesse Bengos, by the way, out of University of Alabama in his second year.
Bob Thomas.
Bob Thomas comes on for the 2:20 remaining.
From Masengo to Hall.
Thomas splitting the uprights. There's Jesse. Only 6 receptions thus far in the season, but he had a 19.3 average on it, Joe. They got him in the 7th round draft pick. They like him a lot. Matt Millen trying to prevent the spike. He's really a fiery sort of player, very emotional player, Matt Millen.
You know, this is the kind of protection the quarterbacks would really like to get. If Dan Fouts had this kind of protection all night long, we'd be seeing a different ball game. What I used to like to call this is shopping around. He has all kinds of time back there to shop around and find the receiver.
Meanwhile, the receivers go to work, try to give me some sort of a passing play, and they did. And Joyner took it to the 1-yard line. Ben Ross got the touchdown, and of course the onside kick is coming from the Chargers. And all the sure hand types for the Raiders will be up there close. We'll put Lester Hayes over the right side. All the good hands. Take out the big folks. Bring in the receiver types, the running back types. Todd Christensen is over there.
Well, if the Chargers were to get this onside kick, I bet you'd see Howie Long and the guys back in the game.
Sam Steele, by the way, went out for the Raiders. You understand, had a cramp in the leg. He'll be back. Had to go 10 yards. Chargers were offside. Lester Hayes comes up with it. Steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Bob Thomas with so many years with the Chicago Bears. This is now doing the place kicking for these San Diego Chargers. Ralph Panushka on the injury list. Offsides being indicated against San Diego. Of course, it's declined. The Raiders have it back. San Diego has no timeouts remaining. The only time the clock should stop is now is the 2-minute warning. 2:17 remaining in the game. And again, a reminder, we'll be in St. Louis a week from tonight, along with the Dallas Cowboys and St. Louis Cardinals and Lester Hayes. Interesting stat. He has 34 career interceptions. He's only had 8 in the last 4 years. He had 13 in 1980. And that is not to say that he has slowed up. It might indicate that people like to stay away from Lester Hayes. But when you stay away from Hayes, you have the option to go on the other side, and you have Mike Haynes. So what are you going to do?
I think Lester had a psychological thing with that stickum. Once they outlawed the stickum, he stopped catching the ball. Now, I was at their practice yesterday, and he had on some special gloves, and they had Velcro on him, and he said, "Juice, I've solved my problem." He's not in the game now. Well, we'll see what the Raiders do when we come back.
On the left, he started with the Denver Broncos the same year I started on Monday Night Football. That was 15 years ago. Howie Long over the other side. They use him everywhere. They do such a great job in moving Howie Long around that line of scrimmage. They'll line him up as nose tackle. They'll put him on the right side, the left side. And it may look like it's all screwed up, fouled up, nothing's going to work, but they know exactly what they're doing. I think they get it done. They tell you they do.
I think they have an idea of exactly what they're doing. They're pretty smart. What they're doing, moving those people around, they're giving these offensive linemen headaches. Who do I have to block?
More and more teams are doing it too, Joe. As we watch the league this year particularly, Ernie Stoutner has the Cowboys doing things they never dreamed of a few years ago. As Derek Jensen goes over the left side for a 9-yard pickup. Our ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. And by exceptionally smooth Michelob, where you're going, it's Michelob. And by Federal Express. And by Hilton, America's business address. But you see it everywhere you look now. The Blitz, they're bringing personnel from all over. And I think it's grown out of the fact that the offense was just running away with everything a couple of years ago, and now the only way you can control an offense is to do things like the Bears do, and now the Cowboys. But the Raiders have been doing it for ages. First down, Raiders. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Jim Jeanette. Our technical director, Joe Chavo. Associate director Dick Buffington is with us tonight. Technical manager is Bill Freeberger. Unit manager Marshall Lopez. Telecommunications manager is Jerry Reuter. Assistants to the producer Amy Smolens and Chaz Wiseman. And what a terrific job they do for all of us. Stats and graphics and research by Peter Hurt tonight. Statistician is Joe Cox. Busy up here is a little B. He's from Carmel, Michigan, home of Mark Herman. Booth assistant, Lisa Conroy. Spotter is Steve Bazika. And the Traveling Freak Show will move on to St. Louis a week from tonight. The dogs bark and the caravan moves on. And the Chargers will lose this one. They go to 3-5. The Raiders go to 6-2 in a dead tie with the Denver Broncos in the AFC Western Division. And perhaps troubles ahead for a beleaguered Don Coryell. For Mark Wilson, the heir apparent to the quarterback spot here, a big night. Not spectacular, but he got it done, and he won his 5th consecutive start for this man, Tom Flores, who is quietly amassing quite a record in the National Football League. We'll be back.